You wanted the best, you got the best. This is Omnibros Live, ladies and gentlemen, for the week of April. No, what are we? May, the week of May 30th
June
of the Lord 2020. Joining us, as always, is our very own A Week in Geekdom from Puerto Rico, Giovanni Menendez. ¿Cómo está?
Sup, homie? I'm doing pretty well. How about yourself, Riley? You're also here. I'm happy to be here.
And of course, we can't forget the omnibus collector himself, Mr. Ryley Moore. How you doing, Ryley?
What's up? I'm good. Just been doing nothing all day.
Living the dream, man. Living the dream, huh? Now, are you on? Are you PTO? Are you paid?
Right now, yes. Yeah, I originally I went back to work Monday. I mentioned this on the last show that I was on. I was like, okay, I'm back to work on Monday. Everything's gonna go back to normal for me. And then Monday evening, they were like, "Hey, furlough," and I was like, "Shit." So I'm furloughed for at least until the end of the month. So April 30th, they're gonna reconvene and decide what they want to do. I'm paid right now until that point. So, and after that point, I don't know. After that point, if they don't have us come back, then I would be unpaid. But there's there's some time, and we'll see what happens.
It'll work out, man. It'll be all right.
Yeah.
Things will work out. They always do. Yeah. How about you, Gio? How's everything going, man?
Doing pretty well. Today was a little bit stressful because I had a different schedule that went into effect today, and it's more chaotic, and I have to do other stuff, and I have to close everything down, which I hate doing, regardless of what's happening in the world. I hate to be the last one to leave. So it's always stressful, and then with the curfew and everything, I had to get here before 7 p.m. So it was a little hectic, but I'm hanging in there.
It's good, man. It's good to hear. It's good to hear. It's been kind of crazy over here in Orlando. People wearing masks and stuff all over the place. But we're not talking about that today. We're talking about comics. We're talking about pretty much anything. We're kind of shooting from the hip today. It's Q&A. But first, Gio, can you let the lovely people in the chat that are listening to us right now listen to your soft, dulcet tones and tell them about our wonderful sponsor, In Stock Trades?
Don't mind if I do. You can visit our sponsor website, instocktrades.com, where you can get your collected editions and manga up to 50% off. Loyalty discounts tack on an extra 2% to that. And if you order $50 or more in your collected editions order, you get free shipping. How about that, ladies and gentlemen? Free frickin' shipping, fantastic customer service, and wonderful packaging that you can only get when you visit instocktrades.com.
How do they do it, Gio? How do they do it?
A portal to another dimension, and a warlock comes in, and they just bless us with wonderful packaging and a fantastic customer service. They're the best.
They've been pushing out the damaged stock right now as well. I think a few times they reloaded the damaged items, and there's a lot of cool stuff. I looked this morning. There was a bunch of absolute editions that are on there for damages right now are 50% off. So pretty cool stuff.
There's some gems in there too.
Yeah. Usually damages are not too bad either. Usually it's like a little nick on the corner or something.
Nah. Besides, what else are you going to do? Everybody's under lockdown. You might as well buy some comics and read them, and they'll be delivered right to your door. So, great time for that.
That's good.
Yeah, that's all I've been doing.
I have fallen down. I'm still continuing down the Animal Crossing rabbit hole. And we have somebody else in this chat that kind of has fallen down that hole as well. How's it going, Gio?
I caved, and I bought the game digitally yesterday. I said, you know what, whatever. So I bought it, and I played last night. And it's a lot of fun. I like it. It's very therapeutic with the music and the way everything it's what's the word I'm looking for? The way everything's presented. It's all very calming. And I dig it. I didn't know I was going to get enjoyment out of pulling bad weed from the ground and grass and selling it to clean the streets of my island. I'm like, Usually in real life, I hate that kind of thing. I don't like doing that yard work, but in the game, oh yeah, give me the bell money.
I did real life yard work all day yesterday. I didn't make any bells, unfortunately.
You made bells in your heart.
There you go. Yeah, that's right. How hot is it out there right now, man?
It's not. It's I think it was. Let me check the actual forecast.
Because I used to live in Texas, so I know about that dry heat that you guys get.
It's still in the 60s right now. I think it was yesterday as well, and it's set to be about the same for the rest of the week. And then next week it goes up a little bit. But it's not bad. Right now the weather's fine. It's supposed to rain pretty soon for a few days. That's why I was like, I got to jump on it and get the yard work done. So yeah, I picked a bunch of weeds out of the garden and mowed the lawn and stuff like that. And then my wife looked outside and she's like, wow, it looks great out here. And I was like, good. That's all I need to validate my my chores around the house right now.
You get the nice approval from the wife, you're good to go.
Yeah. Man, I haven't played Animal Crossing since back when New Leaf first came out on the 3DS.
Yeah.
And I was in that for a while, like, because you have to really get on it daily to really take advantage of everything. And so I was like, it was just habitual. I was on there daily doing everything. And then eventually it's like once I broke the habit and I wasn't on there every day, I completely fell off of it and I didn't touch it for a long time. So I was like, well, I can do that again, I suppose, or I can do the other things like read the countless books that I have and stuff. Because if I start playing Animal Crossing, I won't stop. Is basically my problem.
Yeah, it's a big hole you fall down. What have you kind of been reading this week, man? By the way, tonight is Q&A, so if you got questions in the chat, just throw them at us and
fire away.
We're going to talk about everything, so don't worry.
Yeah, we are all over the place today. This was kind of a last minute thing that we put together because it was for a second there, it was kind of looking touch and go. We might not have a show tonight. But what have you been reading, dude?
So I've been working my way through I have like my stack of recent releases and stuff. I'm like a month behind on weekly comics, but at this point there's nothing new coming out. So I was like, I'll work on other stuff and then piecemeal that because I'm not going to get something new for a while. So I might as well enjoy it. So, I had my primary stack of new material and then my secondary stack, and the secondary like something that I had put off for months, and then like a 2-volume series, a single volume series. So I read a few things in the past couple days. This spoof on Evangelion, Neon Genesis Evangelion by Tony Takazaki. It's about 200 pages. It's got like 20 or so short chapters, and basically each chapter is just a parody of Evangelion, and it's just a bunch of random stuff, just playing with the characters and stuff like that. And one of my favorite ones was there's a little sketch where basically Shinji is trying to make Rei laugh, and he keeps doing a bunch of different things like physical comedy and different stuff. Like on this page, you can see he's like tightening the suit so it hits him in the balls basically. And she's like, do you even know what funny means? Like, none of this is funny. And then he impersonates his dad, and it makes her giggle. And I thought that was pretty funny. So it's a good, if you're a Evangelion fan, it's a good little series to check out. I read the 3rd volume of, it's a little higher than my arm goes, Elfen Lied. And I still am not 100% sure about that series right now.
Oh, I see it over there.
I'm trying to grab something. Yeah, it's up there. I was just grabbing. Oh, I grabbed the wrong 2 books. Sorry.
Right by the logo.
Yeah, it's interesting enough, and there's only one more omnibus coming out, so I figure I'll finish it up. If I don't like it, then I'll sell it to someone who might enjoy it a little more. And then the past 2 days, I've been reading some stuff by Shintaro Kago. I read Super Dimensional Love Gun, I think yesterday morning, and that was strange, to say the least. It was very, very not safe for work, and I didn't realize that was going to be how it was, and it was like Junji Ito on drugs. Like, I literally, talking to our manga chat, I was like, I'm worried that this man has actually like cut apart a person and
as research material.
Yeah, like legitimately dismembered someone. But then I read another series by Kago, Dementia 21. Both volumes of this from Fantagraphics are out and available. And this was some good stuff. This is it's a really episodic, almost type of like anthology book, and it follows this girl who is acting as a nurse in a like a elderly home, and she's taking care of all these people, and each chapter has her taking care of different patients, I guess, who live there, and there's always something bizarre happening. So there's one where like this guy's teeth come to life. There's this one where this lady, her wrinkles, like every time she touches someone, it passes the wrinkles on to someone else or like something else, and everything in the world becomes wrinkly because of it.
That's so weird.
It's super bizarre, but it's basically exactly like a Junji Ito book. There's one where this lady, every time she forgets a person, that person explodes. And she's like slowly losing her memory. So everyone in the world explode around her. And then concepts like she forgets what tires are. So they're showing a car drive by and the tires just explode. But it's bizarre. It's really dark humor, but it's like, it's not so mature that I would say like, oh, you shouldn't, give this to certain audiences. It's still a little bit mature, but it really does feel like more like one of Junji Ito's anthology books. So if you're a fan of those, like Smashed, Shiver, those books, then Dementia 21 is definitely something to check out. It's a pretty quick read too, and it's got gorgeous artwork throughout. Just, I mean, a good example being the color art on the back covers is pretty nice on both volumes. And there's more, a few more.
Is there?
I think so. Yeah.
Oh my god, I can't wait for that, man.
That's still on track. I posted an article a couple of weeks ago, and they said that nothing has been delayed. Everything's right on schedule for that.
Oh,
nice.
God. I can't wait. Honestly, I can't wait. It's supposed to be really freaky. We've got a few questions if you guys want to get to them real quick.
Yeah.
Gio, you want to highlight some?
Let me go over, because we have a lot of people in the chat. I'm sorry about that. Here's a random one.
There you go.
From Nick. How do you guys feel about the Bleach anime coming back?
I have never seen the Bleach anime. I've been actually going through the manga myself right now. That's a Ryley and Gio question.
Boy, I am so excited.
I'm excited as well. I'm so happy because I feel like this is anime, and Gio might agree with me, to redeem the ending for Bleach. Like they could fix any issues with pacing. They could, do whatever they have to do to make that final arc just in general better.
Yeah. So
I'm hoping that they do that. But not only is the Bleach anime coming back with that final arc, thank God, but Burn the Witch, which is Tite Kubo's, or Tite Kubo, I don't know how you pronounce the name, his spin-off, it was secretly a spin-off of Bleach. And he did a one-shot, and that's coming back for a serialized manga. Is it going to be in Shonen Jump Weekly, Gio?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so in Jump Weekly, I don't know if it's meant to be limited or a longer series, but then it's also getting an anime adaptation at the same time.
They said it was going to be a short manga series, but it's going to be on Shonen Jump Weekly. And then in August or September, I don't know, we're supposed to get an animated movie based off the first story or the first one shot or something. And then if it does well, we will potentially get a series
Nice.
out of it. But I'm really excited. That Burn the Witch stuff is really cool looking.
I'm kind of wondering if we're gonna get more of the traditional, like really detailed Kubo art that he first started out with Bleach, or if it's going to be kind of the more, hopefully not the rougher stuff that I've heard about. I haven't gotten that far. Hopefully not the rougher stuff that I've heard of in the later arcs.
He does get a little. I think it's a little more rough during some of the fights.
Yeah,
and it's supposed to be like. I don't want to say it's supposed to represent like the kinetic, energy around the fight, but like kind of violence. So the art becomes a little rough in some points, but I like his style throughout, especially in the Hueco Mundo. I don't know if you're at that point yet, but like in the Hueco Mundo arc with all the Arrancar and stuff, his style becomes very like bleak and simplistic, and like it's a very polar opposite from a lot of different series, and a lot of people would complain about lack of background and stuff, but in this I felt like it really worked in setting tones during that arc.
I agree.
So I don't know what they're going to do exactly for the ending of the anime.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious. I'm like I said, I've been enjoying because I'm still very early on. I'm enjoying the early arc stuff. I haven't even. What is the first few arcs? I'm not even in when the Soul Society arc. I'm still in that.
Yeah,
I'm very early on. But I'm loving the hell out of it so far. Let's see. Somebody else. What are your thoughts? Oh, best duo, writer, and artist. Oh wow, that's kind of loaded. There's a lot out there.
It's the first duo that comes to mind when they tell you what's the best duo in comics.
Ah, shit.
The first duo that comes to mind for me is always Morrison and Quitely. And I know a lot of people do not like Quitely's art, but
it's fine.
I love it with everything that he does, because I think that he works so like he pulls off of Morrison's ideas so well. I think that's what really makes it.
I'd go with Bendis and Bagley on Ultimate Spider-Man. That's my go-to. Somebody tells me what's the best duo. I fell in love with comics reading that stuff, so you got to go with them.
I'm gonna steal half of your answer. I'm gonna go with Bendis and Malieve, or Brubaker and Sean Phillips.
Nice.
That pairing came into mind as well.
Yeah, because that's the duo right now, man. Brubaker and Phillips. Whatever they're doing, every time they put something out, which they seem to be married to each other at this point, it's magic.
I got another random question here from G. Scott. What is everyone's thought on Death Note? I'm thinking of getting the all-in-one edition. The premise seems interesting, but not sure. But then again, for the price on IST, seems worth it. Death Note
this big and it's one book.
Yeah, the all-in-one edition. I have that thing, and it's more of a novelty, to be honest. The best edition to get would be the black editions because it's larger format. All-in-one, it's just one tiny. It's smaller than a standard manga, by the way, and it's all just one giant phone book. I have it. I simply bought it because it was like $30 or something, and I wanted for the novelty aspect because I had the series on Blu-ray. So yeah, I would still recommend the black editions.
I would say if you're just looking to try it, then probably buy a cheap copy of the first volume, either the standard or the black editions. That way you can kind of get a taste for what it is. Because I mean, the price is going to be really good for the all-in-one, but like Gio was saying, it's more of a novelty. I haven't tried to. I know that they use something where the spine kind of opens almost like it's a hardcover.
Huh.
Yeah.
Like it's not that bad. Plus, another positive for the all-in-one, it has a one-shot issue or a one-shot story that is not included in the Black Series volumes. So that would be a nice thing to. I don't know if you want to do that, it's cheaper. You get the extra story. It's an all-in-one edition. It's pretty good stuff. But as far as the content goes, I really, really enjoyed that series. It's been more than a decade since I've read it, but I had a great time with it. I know a lot of people kind of talk down about the latter half of it.
It's still fun. I mean, even with the
enjoy it.
Even with the later half, you still have fun with it somewhat.
There was for me. I didn't hate. Okay, so I've only seen the anime, so I don't know if the manga differs at all from the anime. We can't even really get into it without spoiling it. But there's a change about close to the last third of it where I'm like, you kind of already wrapped up your story here, more or less. Yes, this character still needs to be dealt with, but and then it keeps going, and I'm like, I really don't like that last third.
Here's another question from G. Scott. Everyone's thought on Witchblade, thinking of picking up the complete collection, Volume 1.
I've never read any Witchblade.
I got to be honest, I've always seen it more of a subpar story with lots of fan service.
Great boobs.
Yeah.
Usually when I think of Witchblade, when I was in high school, it was usually the kids that would take a tumble through ye old Hot Topic, and they came out looking like a Kingdom Hearts character.
There was a newer Witch series from Image that came out a couple years back. I don't remember who worked on it, but it was pretty decent. It was just an updated take. A lot of books are still going to be coming out and being available via Amazon right now, and Barnes and Noble, because Amazon and Barnes and Noble do not get their comics, they do not get their books from Diamond. Diamond supplies what's called the direct market. The direct market would be local comic shops and stores online, like In Stock Trades and stuff. So you'll see, I don't know if everything is going to show up, but you will see a lot of stuff coming out on Amazon from here out until everything gets kind of solved.
Yeah. Jesse, thank you. I'll give you guys a little secret. If you want to do your own live shows, DC just they put out free backgrounds for live streamers in these trying times. So I'm like, yeah, I'll get them. We can use them on the show. So I have a bunch of DC backgrounds that I'll be using.
Guys, they delayed The Last of Us 2 today.
That one hit my wife hard.
I was getting ready to play that. That sucks.
You know, Last of Us 2 didn't hit me as hard as Top Gun 2. Top Gun 2 really hit me hard.
All the stuff that you like, it's been first it was Fast and the Furious. It got pushed to next year.
Yeah. Oh god.
Now we're not getting Top Gun. Now we're not getting Last of Us. What else?
I know.
I mean, every movie played. I think the one that I was the first one, I feel like the first thing to get delayed was Bond, and I was like, shit. And I remember texting it to my brother-in-law, and I was like, because he was like, why aren't they doing it in November? November is Bond month. And though I texted him, I was like, you got your wish. And then it wasn't until Black Widow 2 that I was like, damn it, because I was really looking forward to seeing Black Widow. And that hit me right in the heart. Honestly,
just let's just skip the whole year. Don't worry about it. We'll start over again next year.
I was thinking about cryo sleep earlier, pulling a Futurama.
Let's just start over in 2021 because 2020 has been kind of downhill.
You know, every year people are always like, "Oh man, this year is the worst. Oh man, this year is the worst." And every year I'm like, I mean, shit happens. You get through it. It's all. And then this year I was like, God damn! Like from the jump, man. Like we haven't had a break. And so now all the memes talking about 2020, I'm like, I'm not even going to try and dispute it. Yep, 2020 sucks.
We lost COVID, and all of a sudden this happens, man.
Yeah, earthquakes. We almost had the World War III, bushfires.
Australia freaking on fire.
The virus, because I don't want to get demonetized. So the virus.
March has been a long year so far.
March has been going on forever. Thank goodness it's over.
It's funny because like you keep seeing like there will be memes people post and they're like something about March in particular, and then I was like, I'm sitting there like, y'all making it sound like as soon as we get into April we're gonna be home free. Like as soon as we turn that page on the calendar, it's gonna be like, oh yeah, greener pastures. Nah, fam.
Here's another question. Which series that went away for a while and came back are you all most excited for? That's a good one.
Shit. That is a good one.
When it came back.
Are we supposed to get Saga again this year? 'Cause I'm still waiting for that.
That'll be exciting when that happens.
Yeah.
Nailbiter is coming back.
That's true. Chew is coming back.
Chew's coming back. Yep.
But not the same artist.
I almost feel like Chew never went away because I've been reading Farmhand by Rob Guillory.
How is that?
It's good. And it has a very similar, because a lot of Chew's humor comes from Rob's artwork, and his little things that he puts in each panel. And so it maintains a lot of that. It's good. It's interesting. It's a good story. It deals with food kind of. So it's very Chew-like.
I'm excited about Log Horizon. For anybody wondering, first it was a light novel, then it became a manga, and now it's an anime. And after like 5 freaking years or 6, we got an announcement that we're getting season 3. So that's coming out in October. We're also getting Promised Neverland season 2.
Finally.
What was the other thing? That time I got reincarnated as a slime season 2. My Hero Academia season 5 is supposed to debut at the end of the year.
You might as well just go with Villain Academia, because that whole arc is just built.
And what's the thing I'm missing? Attack on Titan. That's what I'm most excited about. It's been there, so it doesn't qualify for Nathaniel's question, but I'm still excited. But yeah, Log Horizon. That's what I'm most excited about.
I'll be excited to finally announce JoJo Part 6 getting an adaptation.
I still have to watch Part 5. I haven't started that. I'm waiting for Viz to announce the Blu-rays, because those Blu-rays look amazing and they're uncensored and they look fantastic.
So is it worth? Because I've never read JoJo. I've never experienced JoJo, because JoJo apparently really is an experience.
That's true.
What route should I go with JoJo? Should I just jump into the anime? And what season? Just season 1 and then go through? Because I've heard season 1 is kind of a mixed bag.
So the way that,
or part 1, however the hell it works.
I jumped in with part 3, which would be season 2, because at the time that's all there was in the US. Was just Viz putting out the manga of part 3. And then whenever the anime started up, I started watching that from the beginning. You don't need anything prior to understand part 3. Like, it kind of lays out the important characters and stuff for you. But there's part 1 in the anime is only like, what is it, Gio? Like 8 or 9 episodes?
8 episodes.
Yeah, it's only 8 episodes. So it starts off a little bit slower, and then I think part 1 by the last few episodes is a little bit more exciting. Part 2 is where I think like it gets really good. They introduce some cool characters in there. The villains are interesting and kind of hilarious. But part 3 is where it starts getting into, you're introduced to stands, which are like the power that everyone has through the entire rest of the series, which is basically just every character has a stand, and a stand is like a psychic partner that they can use to fight, and it gives them a specific ability.
Cool. It was like Persona.
Yeah, from what I know about Persona, yeah, I guess so. Part 3 is like globetrotting. It's a giant road trip with the bros, and like they're just trying to stop a evil vampire guy. And they just going from like country to country, and each place they go, there's another stand user who's trying to stop them from reaching their goal, which is Egypt. Part 4 is like a small town murder mystery. and it's a small like haunted town where just weird things are constantly happening. Part 5 is in Italy, and it's gang members fighting against other gang members to try and find the gang boss. Part 6 is set in a prison. This one doesn't have an anime yet. It's someone wrongly imprisoned trying to get out. Part 7 is a new universe, and it's a giant horse race across the US with a villain that's basically exactly Donald Trump. And then Part 8, it's just, I don't even know. Part 8 is insane. There's a fruit company that has been doing some weird trading stuff, and there's this like these people that are, instead of being made from carbon, there's another element. I forget which element it is. It's their prime that makes them up primarily. Or no. They are people made from carbon, I think is what it is. I don't know. It's bizarre. Like the 8th part, it finally, to me, I was like, all right, that's bizarre.
Well, it's in the title, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. So, but
it's worth it if right now you are with some time to waste on stuff. I would definitely recommend jumping in. Don't. A lot of people jump in, and because so many people hype it up, they're like, "Oh, this is going to be the greatest thing in the world." Like it is what you make it, almost. Like it is what you find in it. And if you find enjoyment because it's so ridiculous, then you're going to like it. If you find enjoyment because the fights can be pretty badass, then you're going to like it. But it never has like a plot that's super deep until maybe the latter parts. It's just how wacky and inventive these characters are is really what drives it, I think.
Cool. Yeah, that sounds like it's right up my alley. I'll have to sit down with it and watch it or check it out.
At least to enjoy all the memes that people share.
Well, yeah, it's a culture.
That's part of what's got my curiosity towards it, is that I see all these memes and all these people like posting stuff about it. I'm like, I kind of don't have any context for it. Like it was me, Dio, and all that stuff. I'm like, okay, I really don't have a context for it, but I find it kind of funny.
I like that the Blu-rays have the production art.
Yeah, those sets have a lot of really nice stuff shoved in there.
So my opinion, watch everything from the beginning. I liked the first part. I know it's not the best one, but I liked it. And then from then on, I liked part 2 better, and then I liked part 3 better, and then I just got done watching part 4, and I absolutely loved it. So I can't wait for part 5 because the protagonist has almost my name. So I'm really excited about that. It's very rare in an anime or fiction that you get somebody with your own name. I'm like, yay.
Yeah, they're all named something that can be shortened to JoJo. So it's like Joseph Joestar, Jonathan Joestar, Jotaro Kujo, Josuke. Well, Josuke's last name is Higashikata, but he's a descendant of someone else. And then part 5 is Giovanna. It's spelled Gio instead of Jo. So
you get a Gio.
Yep.
EQE? My opinion on. Oh, I was gonna do the Persona question because
I'm so sorry.
No, you're good. You're good.
No, let's do the Persona. My bad.
Because I'm actually going through Royale right now. It's going to be my second time going through Persona 5. Persona is a bit of an odd duck because it's partially you're living out your life as a teenager in Japan. And I'm actually, have you ever played a Persona game, Gio?
Nope, never.
I'm genuinely
I haven't.
You haven't, because you being such like an anime guy, you're basically living out an anime. You're playing a teenager out in Japan. You get accused of something that you didn't do, so you get kicked from your home area. So you move over to the main area of Japan, and you basically just start over, and you go to school and all this other stuff. Along the way, you find out that you're able to go into different dimensions, and you become part of a group called Phantom Thieves. And you essentially, what you end up doing is, it's a turn-based RPG. And essentially, when you boil it down, what you end up doing is that you are taking people's hearts. You are going after the biggest bastards in the country, and you are basically making them, you're going to their subconscious and into their heart, and you are ripping it out, and you're basically making them confess for their biggest sins and turning their lives over and stuff. It's an incredibly engaging game, and the base game alone will take you close to about 100 hours to finish because you're going through an entire school year in Japan, basically a whole year, and it goes day by day. So you could pick what you want to do on certain days. Like, let's say you want to go out with your friends in the game, or let's say you want to play darts, or let's say you want to go and continue the quest that you're on. It's incredibly huge, but it's not for everybody. The first, I'm not going to lie, the first I would say probably 10, 12 hours, it's really shackled down as it slowly introduces a lot of stuff, but then it really like lets the reins off, and it's amazing. I love Persona. I love Persona 5.
I got to check it out because I saw like the greatest hits version or something that it was on sale for like 15. You can get it for like $10 off eBay. So
yeah, there's the base game that came out 3 years ago, Persona 5.
Yeah.
That's just the base game. I recommend you check it out. Persona 5 Royale is better in certain ways. It has more music, which if you've ever heard the Persona 5 music, it's incredible.
I've heard the soundtrack. Yeah.
Oh, it's fantastic. Royale introduces a lot of quality of life improvements. It gives you more people you can talk to. It gives you more events, more activities. It introduces a new party member. It introduces another castle. I'm going through Royale right now, and I'm about, I'm going to say 8-7 hours into it, and I'm digging the changes. It's pretty cool.
Nice. Yeah, I want to check it out. Let's see what else. Oh, I can do the older question again. What's a great comic series that's often overlooked?
I feel like my most common answer is usually something about Red Hulk.
Red Hulk, Jeff Parker stuff. That's good stuff.
Yeah, but honestly, most Hulk stuff gets overlooked a lot of the time. A lot of people that I've talked to are oftentimes like, "Oh, the Hulk is just a dumb character. I don't really whatever." If you're into comics, then usually you know, like, nah. Hello, Phil.
Oh, I'm so late on the chat. I'm so sorry. Yeah, Log Horizon Season 3 is coming out. We already had yesterday or today, they released a visual key or like a poster for Season 3.
I feel like Morrison's Green Lantern run isn't getting the love it deserves right now.
That's true. I agree.
Like, I don't hear anybody talking about it right now. It's pretty damn good.
Mm-hmm. And if anybody's wondering, you can watch our videos. Each of us reviewed that book.
Mm-hmm. It was I think it was Riley's best of the year for 2000, like 2 years ago.
I think
we lost Ryley.
Yeah.
that is such a power pose. That is perfect.
That's perfect. That
Please
is awesome.
Screenshot that.
There's 4 now.
You're doubling up now, man.
I'm multiplying. Oh, there we go.
Oh, it's over. Yeah.
Oh,
that was weird. Yeah, I guess I have bad connection.
Let's see what else we got.
That's the most intimidating pose I think I've ever seen you with. It just froze perfectly.
It was very.
I didn't see that.
I can still see it in the control panel, but I can't. No, it's gone. But it was a power pose. I'm like, damn. I was a little bit intimidated and everything.
I was saying, oh yeah, that was Riley's favorite Green Lantern run, and he just had this pose. Like, okay, all right, man.
Cool. New Mutants will never be released. You know what? I believe you.
Let's just get the script out there, and we'll have Weapon Tex act the whole thing out in his bedroom.
Ooh, I get that. I'd watch that on Hulu.
I'd pay $20 to see that.
Yep.
I'll record it on my iPhone and put it up on YouTube.
Is Final Fantasy VII still coming out? It's already out in Australia. So
one of my friends in the UK posted a picture of his copy on Instagram today, actually.
I'm so jealous. I can't wait.
Is the Stray Bullets thingamajig edition worth getting?
I've never read Stray Bullets, but I've heard people who have absolutely love it. I guess if you're into crime series, and as long as you're not averse to giant ass paperbacks.
How's your tolerance for fucked up stuff? That's my question. The Stray Bullets is dark.
I mean, he was just talking about Dementia 21, so I think Ryley can take it. The only good thing we got this year was Joe Exotic. Clark Nato, you got us, and we're more exciting than freaking Joe Exotic.
Is Joe Exotic a good thing though?
The jury's still out on that.
He's a distraction, but
okay. We're all in agreement that Carol killed the husband, right?
I mean, spoilers here, but when she's talking about like, if you want them to eat a person, then you don't put perfume, you put something that they like sardine oil on the person. And I'm like, and you know this because why? And that's just one piece of evidence, I think.
Well, the thing is, I'm watching this and I'm like, yeah, this is kind of weird. And then you get to the end of episode 2, and at the end of episode 2, they just dropped the bomb like, oh, she killed her husband. And I'm cooking dinner, and I just stopped and went, what?
Wait, what?
My wife's like point of like record scratch was when it starts going into like cults and like stuff like that. Doc Antle's whole situation, and she was flipping out. Like, I was sitting on the couch, I was watching it, and she just like turned to me and she's like, how are you not reacting to this shit? And I was like, I'm watching it. I'm just having a good time watching. But it was the events of episode 5 is what really, like, that's when I was like, oh shit. And it's like what happens to one particular person. Yeah, I was like, ooh, shit.
My favorite.
Bandito.
I love the fat jet ski guy. Because he planned that out. He's like, this is gonna look badass. I'm gonna come in on the jet ski.
He's wearing his sunglasses too, the Oakleys. I like before I even watched it, there was a thread and someone was like, this is the actors who should play like the dramatization of it. And they said Haley Joel Osment should play the jet ski dude.
I like that. What's the dude that did Kenny Powers? I forgot his name. He was in Alien Covenant.
Danny McBride.
Danny McBride would totally be Joe Exotic.
In a movie?
Yeah. You know, The Rock the other day was like trying to buy the rights to the movie. He announced it on Instagram that he was trying to buy the rights to the movie.
Wow.
I don't think any of us were reading comics whenever Peter David was originally writing Spider-Man back in like the 80s. And that was around the big arc that he did is the death of Jean DeWolf or Jean DeWolf, however you say her name.
Spoilers.
So I don't know. I don't know if people were upset about that, but I don't know. That's a question for if Omar was here, he probably would have an answer. He'd probably remember. He'd be like, I was talking to Peter David at the time. Back at the comic shop, I was on the phone with Peter David, and
I'm honestly shocked that people, and I'm being sarcastic here, that people were upset about a writer doing things in comics. When has that ever happened? The Collector, was Mandalorian season 2 done shooting before all this? Yeah, it's coming out in October. There's no delays, I think.
Was it done shooting?
I think so.
They were shooting,
or maybe a good majority of it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they had just recently said they were getting Rosario Dawson for Ahsoka.
Oh, I can't wait. So that's yeah. Have you guys been paying attention to Rick Remender's Twitter and all the pitches he's been throwing out there?
Yeah, I'm really upset.
Holy shit! Some of that stuff sounds amazing.
Yep.
Like, who was the guy at Marvel that didn't say, yeah, go for it, man? Because some of that stuff sounds incredible. Like, Brother Voodoo was originally supposed to be a bigger part of, what was it, his Avengers team, and like the teams he had. Oh my god, I wanted to see those stories.
I imagine it's all because they had plans for a lot of those characters, and they were like, okay, well, we can't do that, and we can't do this.
Yep.
I didn't read most of the pitches because I was like, this is gonna piss me off. Like, this is gonna really piss me off. But I hate, like, I know I'd probably feel different if I was actually in comics, but like as a consumer, as a reader, I hate whenever a writer kind of becomes like in the same head as what Remender is in right now, where like someone asked him, like, you know, what series would you want to be pitched if, you know, for a superhero? And he was like, basically told them none. I prefer to create stuff than to write someone else's creation. But to me, like, it's so exciting to see someone with such a great imagination and sensibility on how to write comics creating with other people's properties, because I get it, you don't own that property, you don't own the rights to your story at that point, but it's like creativity born out of limitation, basically, and being limited and seeing like, okay, well, I gotta write a Spider-Man story. I have to pay some mind to all of the 800 plus issues of Amazing Spider-Man, plus all the other issues of all these other books and what's happened there, all these characters. And then what can I do with these characters that's going to stand out differently while respecting what came before? And it's like such a huge amount of limitations that it breeds such insane creativity. Mm-hmm. And I'm always impressed when someone like Remender does something, or like Jason Aaron, I think a good example for him would be his Thor series, like does something that's so fresh feeling while respecting what came before. Or like right now, Donny Cates, I think, is the best example of someone who's doing that sort of thing. Yeah. So it always disappoints me when like Remender goes up there and he's like basically just, you know, fuck everyone working at DC and Marvel. Like, I'm just doing my own shit. But like, your own shit's great, but if I'm being honest, I feel like the quality has suffered since he stopped working under limitation.
I can agree with that. Yeah, I haven't picked up. I need to finish Black Science. I got about 20 issues into it. Deadly Class, it's great, but I dropped off it, and it's one of those things where it's like, I know I'm going to come back to this. I just keep forgetting it's coming out, and that's not a good thing for me, because that shows like I don't have as much interest in it as I thought. But his best stuff for me was that terror of a run that he went through with Uncanny X-Force, Uncanny Avengers, all that stuff up until his Captain America run, which I was like, you know, but that Uncanny Avengers, Uncanny X-Force run, and he had the Inversion. What was that little mini event that wasn't supposed to be an event originally?
Access.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
And the Access stuff. All that is gold. And you've got a good, what would you say, 3-4 years of just incredible month after month content.
And then luckily we had, I guess he left enough seeds for future stories, and we had Jerry Dugan take on Uncanny Avengers afterward, and he did actually a solid job of following the stuff that Remender had set up. Mm-hmm. I'm sure differently than what he was going to do, but it does give you that kind of closure behind what was happening in Uncanny Avengers.
Yeah, and I remember the criticism first, because once he started Uncanny Avengers, he was coming hot off the heels of Uncanny X-Force.
Yeah.
And if I remember right, the criticism was, well, it's good, but this isn't Uncanny X-Force good. And this first arc involving Red Skull and all this stuff, it's okay. After that first, stick with it, because I was kind of feeling the same too. I was like, okay, he's setting stuff up. After that first arc, he goes full tilt into it to the point where I would say it's just as good as Uncanny X-Force.
Yeah, the middle stretch of that series with like the
Uh-oh.
Oh.
It's that big.
I'm gonna remove him from stream. Let's see if that works.
Let's see if that helps out.
Yeah. You got a response from earlier about the
Oh,
Royale.
yeah. Check it out. See if it's for you. Like I said, first, it's a JRPG, and most typically, what would you say? Most JRPGs are pretty slow the first few hours, right, Gio?
Yeah, you're getting your bearings straight, so it takes a while.
What were you saying before you got cut off, Ryley? The middle arc was.
You said it was
middle,
this big.
Yeah, the middle portion of
there you
the.
go.
I feel like the aliens guy. The middle portion of the series, the arc about the Apocalypse twins, just ties.
Oh
No,
not again.
there you go.
I'm just gonna stop. just read it. Just read it.
It's fine. Go read it.
Okay, the Apocalypse twins are badass. I love the Apocalypse twins. They were so great as villains. And I love the confrontation that Thor has with them, and you get this amazing fight with Thor between. I think it was both of them, right? Or was it one of them? It's been a while since I've read it, but it was just such a good fucking fight. Did he? Oh, okay. I thought we got confronted.
No, I'm like, I'm gonna stop.
Why?
Next thing I'm gonna be like, and then it's gonna freeze.
Yeah, you got to stay still. No sudden movements. It's probably the internet's probably having a hard time tracking your movement. That's why. So you got to stay still. Here's another question. Have you all read Light Brigade from Tomasi?
No. I've had it recommended to me, but I've never read it.
Matthew McConaughey should be Joe Exotic. That'd be interesting.
I saw a video of David Spade reading lines as Joe Exotic, and it was perfect.
I do have. I can answer this. Would like to know if the Omnibros know about Lupin the Third. Do you guys know about Lupin or Lupin?
Yes.
I do not.
I've watched, what was the part that showed on Adult Swim back in the day, Ryley? Was it part 2 or part 3? I think it was part 2, right?
I think it was part 2.
I've only seen that and this chunk of material that I have here. I'm going to highlight myself real quick. So here's part 4, the Italian adventure, which is stupid because who made this? Discotheque put it out, but the Japanese producers, they demanded that they release this Blu-ray, which has the English language track and none of the original music, and then they wanted Discotheque to release a second Blu-ray set with the Japanese audio and the original Japanese score. So if you wanted to own both versions, you would have to double dip and own the series twice. Ooh. It's insane. And I wasn't going to do that. The reason the music got censored was because the opening theme was done by an Italian rap duo or something, because the whole series plays out in Rome and Italy. And they didn't have the rights for North America. So the song was replaced for Toonami and stuff like that. So this is, I really like this. The animation's awesome. By the way, these guys are doing the animation for Tower of God, which premiered this week. It's really good. You also have The Legend of Fujiko Mine, which is super out of print, but fantastic. And this is sort of it's not a reboot, but it's sort of like the gritty side stories of Lupin the Third. And it's followed by these 2 movies and this 3rd movie. So it's a trilogy of films that follow this. These are more noir heavy and mature and sexy and violent and rough. Ooh. So yeah, these are fantastic. But if you want crazy, wacky Lupin, check out, of course, Castle of Cagliostro, the second anime part, stuff like that.
Huh. Actually, I'm glad you kind of brought up anime, because I've been meaning to ask you, what did you think of Beastars?
I watched Beastars last year, and it was one of my favorite anime of 2019 when it came out. The manga is fantastic, and I think they really captured the essence of the manga. Even though it's CG anime, which I'm not a fan of, I think they really did a good job on it. And it's a great series. It's drama heavy. A lot of people went in expecting like a regular anime action story, and it's not. It's more dramatic and stuff. So, yeah.
So
And
should I watch the anime or read the manga?
I've only read the manga and can't comment, but I've seen a couple people say that the pacing is not as good in the anime.
The problem with the anime is that for what they tried to do, I think they did a good job, because I watched the show and then I picked up the books and started reading everything again. For 12 episodes, they crammed 6.5 manga volumes into one season. So even though they get the point across, it flows differently in the original source material. Plus, the art is, I think the art is one of those manga books that can convince people to read manga, because it's very indie European looking. It's not your typical manga. So I would recommend both. But if you prefer one over the other, go that route instead. If you like manga more than anime, check out the manga. If not, vice versa.
The manga was hands down, I think both of us named it as our favorite from last year.
Mm-hmm.
It's still, volume 5 came out, or I read it recently, and it's still fantastic. But exactly like Gio said, it has a very European comic look to the artwork. Whereas I think the anime has just more of an anime look.
Mm-hmm.
But it's very, very well done. Very emotional series.
There are drug references. There are sexy times in that manga, so watch out.
Ooh.
Yeah. A lot of people were shocked when they saw beast people getting it on. It's not graphic or anything, but they're no humans, so they got a mate. So
they've never read Black Sad then.
Yeah, the trilogy of furry comics would be Black Sad, Beastars, and what else? I'm gonna add what's the show I'm watching? A Brand New Animal, the new anime from Studio Trigger, which is all about anthropomorphic animals too.
There was a music video. One of my buddies had come back to the States after living in Guam for a while, and what was it? It's Caravan Palace Lone Digger, and he put it on, and the music video is like anthropomorphic animals and stuff, and they go to like a club, and there's like a gazelle that's in a cage dancing. And I was sitting there like, because it's like me and my wife and my friend, and I was like, and I just like walked up and started going to the kitchen and like messing with stuff. And there's this like stripper gazelle in a cage, and I was like, what? And then I said something about it to my wife later, and she was like, oh, I didn't care. And then she like wound up listening to that song later herself. She was like, this is a pretty good song.
Oh, you have a really long question for you, Ryley, from Irish Knight. Ryley, I have a question I asked Omar as well. I want to see what your opinion on it is. Why in issue 139, Wolverine randomly goes back to his brown costume when he had the yellow costume an issue prior?
That was the most comic book question we've ever comic booked.
Yeah.
That's so awesome. I love that question.
I don't know what issue that is. I mean, I know.
I don't read X-Men, but if you were to ask me, I'd say maybe he had it in the dry cleaners and they messed up, so they gave him the brown costume.
You took my answer.
Sorry.
You're good. Man. You're good.
I'm trying to. I don't know. Does he go back to the? I don't know. I haven't read any of that material just
There's
yet.
a little blurb in the issue, like at the beginning of it. It says, "And Wolverine stopped by the dry cleaner on his way there, and he dropped it off."
See issue 134.
true
38.
believer.
Yeah, no, I don't know.
Then he doesn't go back to
too
his
deep of a
tiger stripe.
question.
He doesn't go back to his tiger stripe costume until X-Men 4 with Jim Lee. Maybe they didn't get the memo, the creative team, and they just screwed up.
Well, I think it looks like it might have been the first issue when Lionel Francis Yu had come on to Wolverine at the time. And so it might have been with the artistic change, just something like that. But I mean, if Omar hasn't answered, I would keep bugging Omar because he would be the better person to have an answer for that. I was like 8 years old when that issue came out, and I think I've maybe read one random X-Men. I was watching X-Men cartoons at the time, X-Men Evolution.
This is my favorite question. Gio, how does it feel to watch this happen to somebody else?
For the internet, probably.
For the internet. It's liberating. I see it. I'm like, huh. So that's what it looks like.
That's what it looks like. Irish Knight, Omar will respond to you, but you have to blow up his inbox with the same question like 30 times. We've gone over this.
You have to wish him a happy birthday and then ask him to ask David to reprint something.
That's the key to get a response from Omar.
I have the book that issue is in too.
Do you really?
Yeah, it's in this book.
All right, man.
Do you think we will get an Old Man Logan series made into an Omni?
I'd like to see that.
If we can get past this entire
Psycho said, thank you for that dedication, man. It's 3 a.m. where he's at, and he just woke up and had to watch the show. Thank you, sir.
Ooh, nice.
Where you at?
Where you at, bro?
That is dedication.
He already responded.
Well, then what do you say? Because I actually don't have a good answer. Why is Wolverine? Yeah,
he's in the Czech Republic. Wow, thank you, man.
Nice.
Extra points for the Gremlin.
While you look for that, Ryley, we got another question. Hey guys, who is your favorite Robin between Dick Grayson, Jason Todd, Tim Drake, or Damian Wayne? Dick Grayson is my favorite character overall, especially as Nightwing, but Tim is my favorite Robin. Tim Drake, son.
Are you a Tim Drake fan?
Hell yeah. He's the best Robin.
Okay.
That's my opinion. Don't get angry.
I'm actually in agreement with you. I like Tim Drake.
I find Tim to be the best amalgam of every single Robin. He has the athletic skills, and he's a detective and all that stuff. Perfectly combined.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, I agree. Tim Drake happens to be my favorite one. He's not as I don't know how to put this. He's not as as kiss ass as Nightwing, especially in the early years. But that was also just how the character was written. And he's not as big of a little shit as Jason Todd was, which is why
or edgy as Red Hood.
Or edgy as Red Hood. And he's not Damian, because Damian's an interesting fucking character, because depending on who the person is that's writing Damian, you're either gonna like him or you're gonna think he's the biggest fucking asshole.
That's true.
And I kind of like the transition that Grant Morrison did, because when Damian first shows up on Bruce Wayne's doorstep, he is a fucking asshole. I think the first thing he does is he whooped Nightwing's ass, isn't it? Like the first or is it Tim Drake?
I think it was Tim. Yeah.
Yeah, it was Tim. He whoops Tim Drake's ass, and he's a little shit the whole time. But towards the end of that series, you really fall in love with him. And then, spoilers for like a 10-year-old comic, when he eventually does end up biting the bullet, helping Nightwing, you felt that shit, man.
Yep. Super chat time, Nathaniel, for the multiple Ryleys. Yeah, thank you so much,
multiple Ryleys.
Thank you, much appreciated.
So
thank you, sir.
The Wolverine question was about why did Wolverine have his brown costume in 134? Is that correct?
let me check the question again. Yeah, issue 139. He goes back to his brown costume when he had the yellow costume an issue prior.
So
So
I'm going to stick to my answer that it was a mess up on the side of the artist, on the coloring team with the new artist change, because in the collected edition, the Epic Collection, he's wearing yellow.
Oh,
so
ooh, nice.
I'm going to use that and say it was doctored here because the colorist didn't know, and now they're doctoring it to fix that inconsistency from the original single issue. Assuming that that's correct, that in the single issue he is, but they've made it yellow here. And then, in the next issue, he's still the issue prior and the issue after. He's yellow and blue the entire time. So I will stick with my answer and say that the colorist made a mistake.
Oh, that stuff happens. Those mistakes.
And the editor didn't catch it.
Yeah. It happens.
And there's some schmutz on my book.
So I got to point this out. Omar said his theory is my biggest theory. It was his way to mourn over Jean, wiping away his past.
It's a bit of a stretch.
Next time on Omnibros, I'm going to duke it out with Omar.
Yeah, we'll talk about that with him later. There was a question I missed. Give me a second. Oh, nice. Carl, he has the Fujiko Blu-ray as well. Wish he had episode 0. Yeah. Also, to me, I'm not upset about dubs or subs. I think that fight is stupid. Just watch what you like, and that's it. I think my favorite dubbed Lupin is Sunny Straight. Was it Sunny Straight that did? Or I think it was Sunny Straight that did the voice on the Fujiko series. And then they replaced him with other actors in the movies. I don't like it as much.
The going back just for fun, the colorist on issue 138, the colors were done by Mark Bernardo, and then Joe Rosas comes over on 139. Nice. So there is a colorist change as well as an artist change.
There was probably a mix-up then.
Yeah. Clark Nato, he's getting a Switch. That's awesome because there's a Switch outage, so you're lucky.
I have mine right here.
Yep.
Joy-Cons or Pro Controller. I'd say if you're doing some major gaming, get a Pro Controller. It's going to be more comfortable. It's going to work better, and you're not going to the Joy-Cons, especially on the older model Switch, like the first model. Those Joy-Cons will slide, I think is what they refer to it. The
drifting.
Yeah, drifting. Yeah. The joystick specifically for mine, it's the left Joy-Con. The joystick drifts. Yeah. So you won't have that same issue as much with the Pro Controller. I bought one about less than a year ago, 6 months maybe ago, and it's been awesome. Yeah, I didn't answer, but I love Damian. I think Damian is my favorite. I'm not saying he's the best Robin. I don't disagree that Tim is probably the best Robin, but Damian is my favorite Robin because I love his partnership both with Dick and with Bruce. Because with Dick, it's like he's a little Bruce, so it works as that the opposites. Except now, like Bruce is Robin and Dick is Batman, basically. When it's him teaming up with Bruce, I love the relationship of them butting heads because they're too similar, basically. He's just a smaller, more immature version of his dad. And it's a great dynamic. I think it's hilarious. Yeah. And I've also been, I've been reading Damian since birth, I guess, of the character. So it's really cool to have a character that you watch from his first appearances when he was dropping off heads of criminals to Batman. Yeah.
One of my favorite Frank Quietly moments is Damian, where he puts the bucket on the bad guy and he starts beating him over the head with, I think it was like a spoon or something like that. Oh my god, I love, man. If you read nothing else from that Batman and Robin run, from that Grant Morrison run on Batman, you need to read the Batman and Robin stuff. It's phenomenal. It's the highlight of that run.
Oh, we got an update. Sorry. I'm talking about the old school Uncanny X-Men by the way with Claremont and Cockrum.
Oh, when you said Wolverine, I thought you meant the issue of Wolverine.
Oh.
All right. I have read that. I've read that, and I just don't remember.
Making the man get up around his man cave.
Probably was an artist thing, but it's cool to come up with these fan theories. Well, let's check it out while we're here live before we wrap up. Speaking of Batman, Robin, you guys should all read the new Batman The Adventure Continues by Burnett and Paul Dini. Issue 1 came out yesterday digitally. I want to check that out.
Yeah. Did DC... Okay, so I guess we could kind of talk about this while Ryley pulls up the issue. What do you think real quick about the decision that DC Comics has made where April 29th, they're going to be releasing like a regular scheduled weekly thing digitally? Like whatever, they're essentially going to be 4 weeks behind. Whatever books they were going to drop out yesterday, about April 29th, and then the subsequent week, it would be whatever books would come out the next Wednesday, and then going forward until this whole month comes out.
I think they should give some sort of not like a reward, but at least like if I buy the digital, at least because a lot of people are not going to bite because we have some traditional fans that are not going to go into your tablet and start reading comics that way. Yeah. So there has to be an incentive for them to hook old readers. I don't know, maybe like you get a coupon or something, you buy the digital edition and then you redeem it and get the physical one. I don't know.
No, it's it's an interesting move that they're going to pull off. I mean, I see it because we talked about this Sunday. I see it as like they got bills to pay, man. They got people to feed. They got stuff. Yep. So it's better to put out something other than nothing. And you know,
for sure.
For somebody like me that's digital, that's perfect. I'm like, all right, fuck yeah, like let's go. Let's keep going with this.
My concern, sorry to interrupt. My concern is that DC or Marvel, they did not make a good job of creating a culture of transitioning to digital comics. And when stuff hits the fan like it has now, the people are not used to that system. They're used to going to the local comic shop and getting their physical floppy and reading it. They're not used to, well, if the printer's out, I can just read it digitally. We're not in that space yet. No. So maybe this is a lesson for a future event where stuff happens with printers and people are like, okay, well, I'll go into plan B. So that's my main concern. I don't think it's going to be difficult, I think, for the sales to pick up. But like you said, it's better than nothing. And I think they should put everything out digitally as well.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious what's if they keep going with it, what's going to happen once the brick and mortar stores open back up? Are they just going to get a whole bunch of
oh my God,
back issues?
2 months of back issues.
No, I'm serious. Like, are they just going to get a whole bunch of 2 months of back issues once brick and mortar stores are able to place orders and open back up? And like, what's going to be the return policy for this? Is really a Gabe thing. What's going to be the return policy? And I'm curious about it. I don't know. I have to. I look. Somebody was going to have to make the jump to this. It was going to happen, I think, eventually. I don't think the industry as a whole is ready for it at all right now. But I do applaud DC for being like, no, I mean, the show must go on in some way, shape, or form. We've got stuff to pay, so let's go for it.
So fellas, is this the 5G that DC's been teasing us with? So earth-shaking, it brings the whole world to a stop. Yeah, that's it. Here's another question.
I think Byrne just likes the brown costume.
Hold on, I'll read the question in a second.
What do you got, Ryley? We have our special Wolverine correspondent here.
I think that John Byrne just likes the brown costume. I can't blame the guy.
I don't like the brown costume, man. I'm not a fan.
I mean, I don't know. I like it, but yeah, the yellow is more iconic.
Mm-hmm.
I think at this point the yellow is because his past several costumes have all been yellow and blue.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
But at the time, the brown one had gotten introduced. I would guess that, they just got back from space and they had a big fight and Jean got dead. And his costume literally, like in the last issue that you see...
Oh, she dead.
She got dead. The last issue that you see Logan in the yellow costume, it's torn up. Like he's literally half naked.
Yeah.
Like his legs are exposed, his entire hairy body is exposed. He's just wearing the cowl.
Can I get Ryley abridges X-Men comics? Can we make this a thing?
That'd be awesome.
The next couple of issues in the series, it's like Scott reminiscing, and then there's an annual, and the annual he has the blue costume, but it's an annual, so I don't pay attention to it. And then he has the brown costume for several issues in a row. Obviously, they have to restitch and remake his yellow costume before he can go back to it. Therefore, I think that the guys are right about it being at the dry cleaners.
Thank you.
It was being tailored. They had to get it back together. I don't think it has to do anything with anything specific about his emotional state or anything like that, but it takes several issues because he's basically getting a costume built from the ground up, and they want to do it right. I don't know where he gets back into the yellow one because he's in the brown one for a while. But yeah, it got destroyed when they were out doing the whole Dark Phoenix shit.
Bingo. Case closed.
Right, there you go.
And now I will fight Omar.
I was wondering if any of you read the 90s Lobo classics. He's my favorite character, but I'm afraid that his popularity has since the 90s.
No. What was the shitty Lobo comic that they were trying to put out a few years ago? Do you remember that? Where like Lobo was really... There were two Lobos or something?
There were two Lobos. The idea was Twilight Lobo, yeah. The idea was fun, I guess, but not a lot of people were into it. It was pretty funny.
It looked terrible.
I liked who did the concept art? Kenneth Rocafort. He did a concept art for Twilight Lobo, and it looked really cool, but the finished product, not so much.
What was I saying? Well, Cullen Bunn made up the new version of the character for the New 52, and then
Yep.
Am I back?
Second. There you
you're good. You're good now.
It was so shitted on, basically, that he wound up being like, "Oh, this isn't actually it's not the character. It's not." He came out and said, "This is not the New 52 version of the Lobo that you knew before," and then came out and was like, "Here's the original Lobo." But if I'm not mistaken, the original Lobo stole the name Lobo from Twilight Lobo.
I remember that. Yeah, I remember that whole...
So, yeah.
Let's just forget that.
Ryley explains the Marvel Universe to Franklin Richards. I'd read that.
Yeah, I would like that.
It would be... If you haven't read it, it would be basically like the second Cosmic Ghost Rider series. Cosmic Ghost Rider destroys the Marvel history or something like that.
Yeah.
And it's basically future Frank is narrating the events through his own eyes
of the entire like history of the Marvel universe, and where he like bounced around and had his hand and stuff. But he's sitting there like this old, you know, crazed, frazzled mind old man, like getting drunk in the kitchen, and he's just breaking it down to you like, yeah, then the X-Men, because I think he's, if I'm not mistaken, there's an issue where he talks about being part of the Dark Phoenix saga, and he's like, yeah, and then I wound up in space with the X-Men. And yeah, and I can imagine him being like, yeah, and then Wolverine broke his costume up and they had to send it to the tailor for like a year.
Weapon text explains the Marvel universe. In the beginning, there was Jack Kirby.
That makes sense. Ryley, the costume was in dry cleaners for 11 years. Yep.
Yeah. I've forgotten about stuff.
Happens.
Lou, I know you've raved about Bendis' Daredevil. I managed to score all the OHCs plus end of days on eBay for $88.
Good.
Wow.
Nice, sir. Very good.
Well done, sir.
Yeah, that's really good. You're pumped to read it during quarantine. Man, that's what you got to do, dude. You got to work on that backlog, buy a few books. And Gio, where can they get a few books if they need to right now?
You can get your favorite collected editions over at InStockTrades.com. You can also get Manga. Can't forget about Manga. 50% off. Loyalty discounts tack on an extra 2% to that. If you order $50 or more on your collected editions, you get free shipping. Fantastic customer service and wonderful packaging that you can only get when you visit our sponsor's website, InStockTrades.com.
There you go. We love them. We love them. We love them. Cinematic Galaxy, you got a hell of a deal there, man. That is prime good stuff. We've been talking about the first Omni. We finished the first Omni like 2 weeks ago on the Sunday show. So yeah, man, you're in for a treat. You're in for a good treat.
So unfortunately, through our sponsor, you cannot get the New 52 Twilight Lobo series. You can only get the original stuff.
What a loss.
So it's unfortunate.
All right, guys, we got time for 4 more questions.
Get them in.
Wrap it up. So I'm going to pull up a couple more questions. So Irish Knight, thanks again, guys. One last question, then I'm done. Jeff Lemire, Green Arrow, worth reading. Really loving his old man Logan at the moment.
100%.
Yeah, agreed.
Yep.
Fantastic. It's what Green Arrow should have been when they started the New 52 stuff. It's what it should have been. It only took them 16 issues to get there, but they got there.
Don't even think twice about it, man. Just pick it up.
Yep.
Pick it up from In Stock Trades.
N-Man, doesn't Nightcrawler ask Wolvie in 139 what the new costume, and Wolvie says why not? Wasn't 139 the first brown costume?
It was the first brown. Yeah.
Cool.
Because 138 was Cyclops remembering their time, like when they were younger. 137 was the end of Dark Phoenix. 139 was the first brown costume, and Wolverine responded to Nightcrawler, had to send it out to the tailors. You remember what happened to my costume during that whole shit with Jean, remember? And Nightcrawler was like, yeah, you're right.
So if Storm can use her electrical generating powers to change her costume at will, couldn't she theoretically change anyone's unstable molecule costume like Logan in the tutu? That's
These
the
are
type
the
of questions.
That's what I'm here for.
You know what? We need more quarantine questions because these are old, man. This is the type of stuff you only get when people have nothing else to do all day and they're like, I wonder. That is gold, sir. What do you got, Ryley?
Be right back.
I'm just gonna say yes, because why the fuck not? I'm gonna say that's one of those things where, because they've had some time together, Logan and Aurora, and I'm gonna say that she probably did something like that, given any costume that he has is unstable.
Good answer. I whatever he says, because these are the X-Men expert.
I've never thought about it before, but I like the concept so much that I'm not going to disagree with it.
So so what you're saying is Storm has a second mutation, like a second mutant power. The power of an electrical seamstress.
Yes, basically.
That's her second mutation.
It's canon now.
There you go. We'll pitch it to Marvel.
Am I the only one who thinks Bendis' run of Daredevil could be a continuation of the TV shows, just with a few changes?
I never finished the 3rd season.
When that stuff got canceled, I'm like, I'm done, whatever. And I dropped every show. I never saw season 2 of Luke Cage, or what was the other one? Iron Fist, whatever. I didn't care.
Yeah, that kind of killed my buzz for the after the 2nd season of Luke Cage, when they started canceling shows before the season even came fucking out. I was like, yeah, I'm done. I've lost interest in this.
And we used to talk about it a lot. People were asking us. I think those shows were too long. What they were
8 episodes.
8 episodes, 6 episodes, mini movies, but 13 hours of television for something that could have been condensed.
That's all just put on you at once. I think that Mandalorian and seemingly how they're doing this stuff on Disney Plus is really going in the right direction.
And even then, like 2 episodes of Mandalorian are.
But you're not given 13 episodes at once. You're given 8 episodes over the course of a couple of months.
Yeah, no,
which I think is a lot better. Like, I know I love to do it, and I know people love to binge stuff, but
I'm anti-binge. I think there's a natural way to watch things.
The only shows that I've seen that have kept that pace up of like binging just an entire season in one go has been Castlevania. And
I'm watching season 2, by the way. Castlevania.
So good. And A Haunting on Hill House. Those are the only ones that for me have like kept up the quality throughout all 13 episodes that I'm like, I need to see the next one right away.
I'm going to nitpick. You know what? The one thing I hate, I don't hate it, but it's like, about Castlevania. For me, they went with such a anime-inspired art that when you listen to the audio track, everybody's a thespian, and it's for a whole conversation could be like, I'm like, what? Like, and then they pick out the strangest accents for people, and I get it; it's European in nature, but it's not matching with the cool anime fights, man. I'm so used to a way to voice things that with this, sometimes the voice lines don't match the flip flaps, and it throws me off for the whole episode. And yes, I'm being super anal about it, but I don't know. There was a scene with Alucard and what's his face, and they're talking, and it's literally for a whole 2 minutes. I'm like, what? And they're laughing about stuff. I'm like, yeah, okay, cool. Whatever.
I want the Geo-dub of Castlevania
now. The only one I do love is Dracula. I love the actor. So hearing him as Dracula, I'm like, yeah. But everybody else, I'm like, ugh. And then the main girl, she's got, I don't know if she's supposed to be Spanish or Mexican or something, but that accent's all over the place. I don't know.
Man, I love season 2.
I don't know what's happening with you, mijo, but we gotta kill the demons. I'm like, okay.
We need to dub all of that.
But it's fun. I love it. I'm really liking it.
Yeah.
I was never a huge fan of the series, so I don't know all the characters, but it's fun. Yeah. I like it.
No, and
great. I do love the character designs. They look beautiful.
Fucking Peter Stormare, man. I love Peter Stormare. I'm so glad they got him to voice a vampire on that show.
He's he's badass.
Oh, good. Peter Stormare is that guy, man. Whenever you need somebody to just come in and chew scenery for like 5 minutes, that's the guy you call. Fucking Peter Stormare. He only shows up in like the first 5 minutes of John Wick 2, and I'm like, this dude's awesome.
By the way, I got this. It's a Armin chibi thing, and I'm pissed because the colors faded. So it's a gift, but like, come on, put a little effort in it. Funimation. This was done by Funimation. They suck. Yeah, because I got this. I got the Attack on Titan Season 3 Part 2, and if you ordered through their website, or at Right Stuff, you'd get one of these things. And I loved it, but it's super faded. And it looks like something I would make here at home with my printer. So that's why I'm complaining.
How are those Blu-rays, man? Are they pretty good? Do they look good?
Yeah. As much as people love watching anime on Hulu, Netflix, Crunchyroll, whatever, or illegal sites, you can't beat the Blu-ray thing. The anime looks great on Blu-ray.
I'm gonna have to pick those up once. You know they're gonna do a box set once like everything is finished. So I'm gonna wait for that and just get it all.
The good thing is that these are 10 episodes, so it's a quick watch.
Cool. Wasn't the first season like close to 20 episodes?
That was the only one that was 26 episodes. Season 2 was 10, and season 3 was split up into 2 parts, each with 10 episodes.
Yeah, I remember the first season, man. Once they hit the forest and they're riding their horses for like 10 episodes, I'm like, okay, this is getting a little tedious. Can we kind of move the story along a little bit?
Yeah. They had the right formula because this is a blockbuster type series, so it works better in smaller episode counts, I think.
Totally.
Oh, thanks, Chest Rockwell. Happy to help. Or happy to entertain.
Thank you, sir. That's what we're here for, man.
Any opinions on Denny O'Neill's Daredevil run in between Frank Miller Omni and Companion?
I haven't read it.
Haven't read it.
Thanks. These are the shows that I saved these questions for. Awesome.
Send us more of those.
Secondary mutations are hot now. So hot now. Yeah.
True. That's true. Everybody's got one now at this point.
Was that a Zoolander reference? Hansel is so hot right now.
Yes, it was. Did Morrison get shit the first time he started introducing those secondary mutations for his new X-Men run? Because I remember that being not well liked, especially the Emma Frost Diamond stuff. Because that was a Morrison thing.
I'm trying to think, like, if he was
wasn't it? It was
the first person to use a secondary mutation, but I'm sure he did for Beast, his second transformation.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah. I wasn't a fan of Beast's secondary transformation. I like classic Beast.
All right, let me see if I can get
the second one was like what? He looked like more of an ape, right?
Or was it
the original was when he looks like,
or was it a cat?
The second one he transforms into a cat.
Yeah.
Because the original is more simian-like, and then the third one was like a weird. I don't even know. He had like a domed head, but like the first one is like this.
Yeah.
And then the second one, he had more of a feline facial structure. The third one looked kind of like a monster gorilla.
Psycho Seb. Thanks for all the recommendations, by the way. Berserk and Beastars are going to be the first manga I'll read.
Good.
Looking forward to it.
Good choice. Yeah. Very good choice.
Two polar opposite shows, by the way. One's a drama about furry animals. The other is a drama about dark and brutal things.
If I can make a recommendation, though, the first 3 volumes of Berserk are not indicative of what that series is.
Yeah. What's funny about that is that a lot of people in the group, they jumped on the hype train and they read the first one and they're like, I don't know if this thing's for me. I'm like, you got to keep reading, bro, because the whole purpose of those first 3 is that when you read the rest of the series, you understand why the series starts out in such a brutal fashion. There's a reason for that stuff.
Right.
But if you're willing to sacrifice it, you're going to have a fun time with the series.
Oh, absolutely. I've heard some people even actually go as far as to recommend saying, look, just start with the Golden Age. Start with Volume 4 and then go from there.
I'm not one of those guys. You always got to start at number 1. Go through the pain and hardships like everybody else. But it's fun. I liked it.
No, it's fun. I mean, it starts the first, the first issue? The first page of it is like Guts fucking a demon before he kills it. We
never see that again, by the way.
No.
Of him doing that.
We don't, and it's one of those things where you could tell he was trying to work out. He still wasn't 100% sure who the character was or what the character's morals is, because you later on, through various reasons, Guts doesn't like people touching him. fucking hates contact with people. Like, he does not like it at all for reasons that I won't get into here. So, like, knowing that and reading that, it's kind of like, this doesn't kind of make sense with the character that later on forms, but, you know, you didn't have a concrete character yet.
Mm-hmm. That freebie was probably the last item out of the Funimation Wuhan factory. Son of a bitch. That's probably true. No, but don't worry. This is sterile and sanitized, and I dipped this in bleach, and I whispered sweet nothings to it, so it's fine. Have you guys watched Monster? I have read. I own Monster, and I've watched Monster, and it's another masterpiece in my opinion.
I got about halfway through Monster, and for whatever reason, I didn't continue with it. I meant to. I just dropped
book. The book or the show?
Oh. The book. I dropped
the show.
I got to the point. I don't know if it's the same. Well, you've read Monster, right? Or have you only seen the anime?
I've read part of Monster, but I've seen the anime.
Okay, I got to the part with the sniper rifle scene. I don't know if that's anime or not.
Yeah. I think because it's a crime psychological thriller, I think the pacing works really well for a series. You know, with the acting and stuff, it brings it to another level. So maybe watch the show.
And I think it's one of those things where it was so overhyped for me. Like this amazing seminal piece of manga that you have to read. Where I was reading and I was like, well, this is amazing. It's really well written. The pacing is great. But it, for whatever reason, didn't click 100% with me. Whereas his other work, 20th Century Boys, is my favorite manga of all time. I love and adore 20th Century Boys.
I've read 20th Century Boys and I've read Pluto, but I haven't read Monster.
Yeah.
But I love 20th Century Boys. Someone commented on one of my recent YouTube haul videos saying that they did not really like 20th Century Boys, and I just didn't respond.
It's okay. They can do
But Pluto, when I read that one, like I love 20th Century Boys, but Pluto, I was like, holy shit. Like this, so good. It's so like, it's just the best. I say the same thing every time, but it's so concise because it's only 8 volumes.
Mm-hmm.
It's short, all things considered, and it tells the story that it needs to tell in such a great way. But I mean, given that I don't have anything to do for the next month, maybe I should finally jump on and read Monster, because I've had it in my collection for like a year.
Pluto made me cry twice.
Pluto's his best work, in my opinion.
Pluto is second to 20th Century Boys. 20th Century Boys, to me, what got me was just how impressive and how grand in scale 20th Century Boys was, and how everything, for the most part, fit fairly well. And I swear to God, the guy must have had like 8 whiteboards in his office. And he was just mapping all this shit out. But Pluto, what the strength of Pluto is, like you said, Ryley, that it's such a tight and concise 8-volume series. He knew what the beginning, what the middle, and the ending was right from the beginning. And the ending, the final page of Pluto is beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. It made me tear up. It was that, and it was the issue. It was the volume involving the character that plays the piano. The robot that plays the piano, which incredible, like amazing and seminal writing. It's one of those things where if you try to, it's one of those things where you read it and you go, God damn it, how did he do it?
Yeah, it's so good. There, I know that I teared up at least once in that series, and there's a chapter where there's the old man who's trying to repair a robot. Mm-hmm. And that one got me because the old man looked like my grandfather, and he would always like fix my toys and stuff, and I was like,
That's sweet.
Yeah.
I have a little show and tell for the people watching. This is the first, what do they call this again? The perfect editions of Monster. 2 things. One, this was damaged during the hurricane, so that's why, I don't know if you can hear it.
Yeah.
It's all rigid. And look at the water damage.
Oh.
Yum.
But it's only at the top of those pages. Everything else just looks great and it's readable. So
Okay.
yeah. So I do have Monster in manga form and the anime. This was the only thing released in the US. It's only the first 15 episodes. Viz chickened out. Was this by Viz?
Those are hard to come by.
Yeah. Viz Media chickened out because it has the explicit content label right there because it's a mature series. It's a drama. And they canceled or they let the rights expire or they canceled the release. And this is all we got. I remember buying this on, I think it was Walmart. And the lady kept asking me, are you of mature age to buy this content? I'm like, calm down. Yes, I am. Don't worry about it. Monster.
Yes, I am. Yes, I am.
Yeah. So this was the only thing we got. It has 15 episodes. I have it signed by the voice of Tenma, or the dub voice, Liam O'Brien. So,
yeah. Fucking shame, man.
Yep. Meanwhile, Australia has the whole thing on Blu-ray.
Yeah, I remember Alex taking a picture and
son of a bitch,
$69, and I responded, "Nice."
Well, you can import it, can't you?
Yeah, but I would need a region free player or region whatever. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know how that works.
You would need a region free player in order to import. I was thinking because 4K discs are region free.
Yeah,
but I forgot Blu-rays. They're locked in.
Ryan, is Pluto also an anime? There is talk about an anime adaptation, but it's still in pre-production, so nothing yet. But it's just a beautiful manga that I recommend to everybody.
But it's an adaptation, like a very much expanded adaptation of a Astro Boy story, which I believe is animated.
Yeah, yep. That's true. It's
Jake, is Berserk comparable to Castlevania? That's a good question.
With more sex and with more blood.
Honestly, I think Berserk obviously has the better story.
Yeah.
Because I took a look at the plot summaries for a good majority of the games, and it's a very cyclical story. You know, at least with Berserk, it's a long journey, but there's lots of elements that get thrown in. I don't know.
But if someone enjoys the Castlevania anime or cartoon from Netflix, would you recommend them check out Berserk?
Yes.
If you don't want to read it, at least check out the 90s anime, the older one.
Yeah,
don't
much
watch
better
the
animation than the new one.
Which, by the way, it was done by the people that did the Pokemon anime. So
what?
Yeah, Pokemon, Pikachu and Ash, Guts slicing off monsters.
Nice.
Yep. And that Guts theme, his theme song, it's just beautiful.
So what ended up happening with the 2011 Berserk? What was it? 2011, 2008? The animation on that? Stay away. Stay away from it, guys.
They've tried so many times to reboot and retell the damn story with horrible animation.
Stop. Give it to the fuckers on Netflix that are doing Castlevania. Let them do it. Okay?
Yeah, the producer said he wanted to take on Berserk before live action Hollywood ruins it.
Give it to the people. Stop. You fucked it up already a bunch of times. Stop it. Okay? We don't need it anymore. Just give it to the people who do Castlevania.
None of the games do it justice, and none of the animated stuff do it justice. Just the 90s. But even the 90s series ends with the big event from the Golden Age arc, and it doesn't give you a conclusion to that either. So
yeah. Well, we're in the final arc according to Miura, right? Like this is supposed to be. I think it's Miura. Is how you pronounce it? This is supposed to be the final arc. How whenever this shit gets done.
Oh man, yeah. I hope he gets to finish it because that'd be the top 3 manga on hiatus: Berserk, Hunter x Hunter, and what's the other one with the samurai?
Vagabond.
Yeah, Vagabond. Those 3 are. I wonder which one will finish first.
I'm gonna say Berserk.
I could see that.
Because I would say Mira, I know I'm probably butchering how you say his name. He's more, yeah, he takes long breaks, but he's also more consistent than the other guys.
At least he puts out stuff.
Yeah.
I think he's past his longest hiatus. Because I think he had a really long hiatus for probably the early 2000s was when it was.
Yeah.
But now there's still small hiatus, but it's more consistently coming out.
Yeah.
Compared to the way that either Inoue is doing Vagabond, or how Togashi is doing Hunter x Hunter.
Togashi skipped out 2019 completely. Nothing came out last year. That's amazing. I mean, I know he's sick, but come on.
And you know what? He could put out another chapter next month, and it would sell like crazy. It would do well.
Yeah. At this point, I think he should just get somebody to draw the thing for him.
Please get somebody to draw it for him. Like, I get it, but please. Yeah. So, I think Berserk is going to be the one that ends up finishing up first. He's already on the last arc, which who knows how long this is going to go on. But how old is he? How old is he at this point?
I think he's, I want to say, between Omar and Jess.
So 88?
He was born 1966.
There you go.
He's 53 years old.
He's 53? Oh, he can still finish it. He got time. As long as nothing happens to him, he's still got time.
I would think that series probably could go for because we got volume 40 recently, this one.
Yeah.
We got 40, so I would think maybe 20 more books or something like that. That should give you enough time to wrap things up.
Over the last few years, what has it been? It's been like an arc, not an arc, like a volume a year.
Last year he put out, I think, 3 chapters or 4 in that magazine. Mm-hmm. And then this year he was going to come out with new stuff, but it got delayed. And he started working on, what was the name of the game, Ryley? Do you know?
Oh,
there's a RPG or something that they commissioned him to work on, and yeah, I'll do it. And he's working with them on a game. I'm like, dude, just finish your thing first. Come on, man. Don't leave me hanging. I want to see how the friggin' story ends. It can't be a masterpiece, in my opinion, if it doesn't end. Because that's the type of story that once it's done, you can look back on it and say, damn, that was an epic masterpiece, whatever. But it's undone, so
let's kind of twist that question around. Which one of the 3 do you think is not going to finish? Most likely not.
I think Vagabond.
Vagabond, yeah.
Really? I was going to say Hunter.
Because with Hunter x Hunter, he said he did, he's aware he's slow and he wants to finish it. Mm-hmm. So I think it's just going to be about him getting somebody to work with him and finish the thing.
Mm-hmm. You think it'll get to the point where he just gets an artist? Because the people have been begging him for years. Just get a fucking artist, man.
Yeah. Just wrap it up. I need to end that chapter in my life. Also, for anybody wondering, we're kind of turning this into a manga show, but whatever. I picked up Dorohedoro, Volume 1.
Nice.
And I feel so bad because Ryley was really adamant that I get it. You recommended this book when? A year and a half ago or something like that?
At least a year ago.
It was a Thursday show with Jess, Ryley, and I. And he was trying to sell it on me, and I'm like, it sounds great, but I don't know. And I totally forgot about it. And now the manga blew up and the anime blew up, so I picked up the manga. And I didn't know these things have what do you call these things?
Those French flaps.
French flaps. Thank you. Yeah, I didn't know it had those. That's awesome. So fancy.
Ooh. God, I miss Vagabond. The art on that was beautiful.
And this book smells wonderful. I smell my books. I don't know about you guys, but I love smelling books.
You okay, man?
Yeah.
I'm trying to.
I
So the most recent chapter of Vagabond was published in 2015.
Damn.
it's a
Whereas-
long time ago.
The most recent chapters of Berserk was there one this year or maybe last year?
I think it was last year.
And then the most recent chapters of Hunter x Hunter were in 2018. So there's been a longer hiatus basically at the moment for Vagabond.
Yeah.
And the last thing that Inoue, like I think he returned to Real,
Mhm.
but
Yeah. Meanwhile, Oda's like, what break?
yeah,
Break, what is that? I don't know what that means.
I don't take days off. But Oda doesn't take days off.
He was recently sick and people were worried, but he's like, no, don't worry. I turned all the stuff in. I'm fine.
Oh my god. Can you imagine if he doesn't finish One Piece? Oh my god.
It will truly be the end of times.
Oh wow. It would be like Walt Disney would die.
This is easy. It's going to be 13 or 14 deluxe editions of Berserk.
What's out already?
That's already mapped out because it's 3 per hardcover.
Mm-hmm.
3 of the smaller ones.
Those are gonna look badass on a shelf when you get all of them.
Yeah, and the I wonder if the Dragon Slayer thing got delayed.
Oh, the giant oh yeah, that looks awesome. I know what I'm getting with my stimulus check already.
But is that thing coming out? I
No,
wonder.
I'm talking about the hardcovers for Berserk.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
That's
I'm gonna get that.
because it was expensive. The bookends, that's what they're called. The bookends, I think it was like $200, and they look amazing. But I can't justify spending $200 on bookends.
Gio, you're getting a stimulus check from the government. There you go, man.
I will be real with everybody, and I'm using that check to pay off some bills. I will be debt free.
Lame.
Yep.
yeah, same here.
So
The
we
real
have it-
question regarding Berserk that I have is so the series in the collected editions left out a chapter, chapter 83, which I think was like towards the end of the Golden Age.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if the hardcover will reinsert that. It would be in the 5th hardcover.
I have, let's see. Mira said it's because let me see if I could read this without spoiling anything. I wanted Berserk's world to be revealed just that far, not any more than that.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. The deleted chapters or whatever it is. Have you read those?
I did
I
read
haven't.
that a while ago.
They're kind of weird.
The appearance of somebody in the manga conclusively determines its range. I thought that might limit the freedom of the story development. I myself don't know if the idea of blank will show up in the manga or not.
Okay.
That was his answer. So he didn't want to limit his world building, I guess.
Yeah. So as of right now, that's not canon then.
It's not collected in the
It's not
manga in Japan either.
It's not considered canon. Okay.
Yeah. What do they call the manga chapter? The books again? Tankobons. Oh my god, that's the weebest thing I've ever said here.
Tankobon.
And you host the show from.
And I know.
That's the new bar, man.
I'd love to put some like the Sandman bookends. I had the opportunity to grab them at like $60, and I'm so mad that I didn't do it. I was so dumb.
I could choke you right now for that, man. They're beautiful.
Yep. My local shop, they had them in, and nobody was buying them. And I think I could have gotten for cheap, but I wasn't collecting anything Sandman, so I skipped on them. Now I regret it.
They're expensive now.
They're like 200, 400 bucks on eBay.
Yeah, man. There you go. That would have been your dragon sword right there.
Yeah. And man, I could be completely wrong, but I think we will at least get an shoot. What is this? Uncanny X-Men. Sorry, I'm fried. Uncanny X-Men 5, if that is the name, even Fall of the Mutants and Inferno, and then who knows after that.
Ryley, when are we getting Uncanny X-Men Volume 5?
Oh, because he was answering this question. Sorry. After publication of Volume 4, maybe Volume 5 of Uncanny X-Men, would any future Omnis be in the format of Mutant Massacre because of all the crossovers and tie-ins?
So if it's called Uncanny X-Men Volume 5 or not, would be, I don't know, but let's assume that's what it's called. But it's going to be, I think it's going to be a thinner volume than even Volume 4. Let me backtrack. So I was a little bit disappointed with the contents of the fourth one because it makes it smaller than 1, 2, and 3. And they could have broken it pretty well to where they would have had the contents of there's a trade paperback called Ghosts of the X-Men that could have broken off right before there. And they could have combined Ghosts with the contents of the first X Factor paperback Epic Collection. And those two together, plus some other miniseries that come around that time, would be perfect as a Mutant Massacre prelude type collection, kind of like they did the Inferno prologue. But let's just call it Volume 5. And then that goes into Mutant Massacre. And then Fall of the Mutants, I believe, should get reprinted, but I don't know that it's probably not going to change in content because Fall of the Mutants, everything already that relates to Fall of the Mutants, as far as I recall from when I was reading it, it has all the content from the three series: New Mutants, Uncanny X-Men, and X Factor. Inferno, though, I do believe they should reprint Inferno as an omnibus, and they should combine the material from the Inferno hardcover itself with the tie-ins, because together that makes about 1,000 pages. So it's going to be about equal to the size of some of the other hardcovers they've put out, and it would be a really good move on their part because Inferno is so hard to find at this point, out of print. It's been out of print for forever. For Volume 5, there's, what issue does it go up to? Like 193, I think, is where it goes to. Yeah, and if they reprinted Fall of the Mutants, they could add the omnibus for shits and giggles, really. But there's, I have it on my phone. I already have my ideas mapped out.
Nice.
Because
you are prepared. I love it.
Who would I be without? Okay, so there's Uncanny X-Men numbers 194 to 209, and that goes between Volume 4 that just got solicited all the way up to the Mutant Massacre omnibus. Now, in addition, there's other material dealing with the X-Men around that time, and they could still fit it. It'd be a pretty thick bitch of a book, but they could call it Mutant Massacre Prologue, and it would be those issues, the X Factor Epic Collection, Volume 1, which would be X Factor 1 through 8, the first annual, Avengers 263, Fantastic Four 286, Iron Man Annual number 8, Amazing Spider-Man 282. Those issues are the story that leads into X Factor number 1, basically Jean Grey coming back. And then there's other Marvel Team Up 150 is another issue that has the X-Men. I think it was the last issue of Marvel Team Up, actually. And then there's 4 different miniseries dealing with X-Men characters that were published around this time, more or less. Iceman, Longshot, Nightcrawler, and Firestar. All together, all of that material, and like I said, this would be thick, would be 48 issues. So trim something here or there, but that would be what I would do if I was making one more volume, one more hardcover to fit between the 4th omnibus and the Mutant Massacre omnibus that we have.
So Volume 5 should be it, right, for this?
That, unless Marvel is going to ignore their mapping and stuff, because let's say they say fuck it, and then they do a Volume 5, and Volume 5 contains the main material from like Mutant Massacre, and then they just keep going, and then they do like all the way through numerical volumes, like Volume 5, Volume 6, however far you need to go, all the way up to the Claremont and Lee books. Because they could just pull Fall of the Mutants itself is very separate. The 3 stories, the Uncanny X-Men, X-Factor, and New Mutants, are all very separate in their story. So they could just take the Uncanny X-Men material from there, just the main material from Fall of the Mutants, or from Mutant Massacre, which is mostly X-Men with a couple issues of other stuff. And then Inferno, they could just do the Uncanny X-Men issues with a few X-Factor issues that are pretty essential to the storyline, and then they could go all the way through like that. I would hate that. I would absolutely hate that if they did it. I would still buy it because I suck, but I would hate it because it completely ignores the mapping that they've set, and I'd rather not have books double dip on my shelves just because of the fact that I'm like, oh, well, I have this because it collects this, but I also have this because it collects that, but together they both collect a lot of the same material. Like I would hate to do that, but I know that I would if I had to.
Nick Hughart with the biggest super chat that I think we've ever gotten.
Holy crap.
$20. Thank you so much, sir.
Bro.
That's going to get a lot of toilet paper, guys.
It is wonderfully appreciated.
Thank you.
Thank you, honestly, from the bottom of our hearts here at the Omnibros compound, which is just like spread all over the world. We thank you so much, man, really, for the $20. It's greatly appreciated, sir. Thank you.
We are deeply humbled, Nick. Thank you so much. You didn't have to, buddy, but thank you so much. It's greatly appreciated. Thank you.
No, especially right now with everything that's going on. We really appreciate it.
Yeah.
Here's one more. Hey, bros, got here late. Don't worry about it. We've been rambling for an extra hour. Uncanny X-Force by Remender will be available from Diamond since it's out of stock but being reprinted.
I don't want to answer anything definitively, but according to Omar, and we know Omar's the man with more of the answers definitively.
The knowledge.
Yeah, he's got the knowledge. It was being reprinted. The new edition, the current edition, was being reprinted, and I don't know if he had said that it should have already been done and being sent out to distributor, which would be Diamond, or what exactly it was that was happening. But I think that, if I'm not mistaken, I think this was a direct market exclusive reprint. Don't quote me on that, but I think that's what Omar had said before. So that means that you won't see it go to Amazon, and you won't see it at Barnes & Noble. You would only see it on like in-stock trades, cheap graphic novels, and comic book shops. They would be the ones to get it.
Yeah. It's there's a lot of uncertainty right now, man. We can't speculate as to when Diamond's going to put stuff out or what release date's coming out right now because everything is getting shifted. Like entertainment-wise, books, comics, movies, music,
even
everything
video games.
is getting even video games. Everything is getting moved around. God damn it! Last of Us 2, you were so fucking close.
Yeah, like I said, my wife, I told her, she was on the phone with her sister, and I pulled up the news and I showed it to her on my phone, and she just goes,
God damn it. And I fucking had a gut feeling too. I was like,
when was the release date?
May 29th.
May
Right
29th.
fucking corner. I knew it too. I had a gut feeling. I was like, you know what? This is gonna hit one with everything that's going on with Final Fantasy VII, getting released differently around the world. Like Europe pretty much has the fucking game at this point.
Yeah.
But we're still stuck up here with our thumbs in our ass, going, "Oh, I can't wait till next week." With everything that's going on, I knew it was gonna get fucking delayed, especially with the topic at hand. I think Sony won't come out and say it, but I think it might have been a little bit too on the nose with everything that's going on right now. I could see them wanting to delay that as well.
But the good thing is that the game's done. It's just a matter of releasing it. So
They're pretty much done. Yeah, they're pretty much. They said, yeah, we're pretty much done with this. We're just sitting on it right now.
God, the thing that sucks about that is like, it's not something. I don't know if they're gonna put it out digitally.
It's delayed indefinitely, so
Yeah,
nobody's getting it.
Nobody's getting it. I'm willing to bet money this is going to become a cross-platform game.
This is the type of thing, though, that I'm like,
day and date.
this
PS5.
is what you want. This is what you want to release, because this is the type of shit that's going to keep people inside.
Oh, 100%.
This is the stuff that, like, I understand, like, you know, movie delays. I get what's going on with the comic books is because of Diamond's decision, but with video games, home media releases and stuff, like, you know, movies are going straight to digital, or movies that were already in theaters are going to digital sooner than planned, because, you know, this is to give people something to do at home, to keep people inside. If I were releasing, like, freaking Nintendo dropping Animal Crossing and not changing the date, and it having just, you know, coincidentally coming out at, you know, the onset of all of this.
Hey, Gabe.
Great. What's up? It's the perfect time, because I bet way more people bought it that were not originally going to buy it.
Okay. You can't find it. I mean, you.
Yo, what up, dudes?
What it do?
It,
I'm also wearing a Toy Story shirt.
Yeah, I'm in my jammy jams.
Me too.
No, you hit the nail on the head, man. And now is the perfect time. All this stuff, it could not have been a Nintendo fucking lucked out with this, because Animal Crossing was always going to be big, because it's been a big franchise. But the fact that nobody can go really anywhere, and it just came out like right in that sweet spot, and the game will always be associated with this time period. So it's already kind of timeless before it even came out.
Well, my wife is calling me, so I'm gonna head downstairs, guys. I'll check y'all later.
All right.
Where can they find you, Omnibus Collector?
Oh, you can find me on my channel, The Omnibus Collector. I think I'm gonna try and put up a video tomorrow of something pretty cool. So I'll have something tomorrow, and then the Facebook group, The Omnibus Collector, The Omnibus Collectors Comic Swap and Community. Go on there. I've been trying to sort through my member requests recently. But all right, peace out, guys.
Later, buddy.
Take care.
Bye.
Late.
Bye.
Hey, Gabe.
Yo, what up, son?
You just get out of work?
I just got out of the shower.
Were you
Nice.
I got out of work, and the first thing I do when I come home is just scrub my body with bleach and gasoline.
Oh, you got to get the nerd stuff off of you.
Oh, that too. That too. So what's going on? Q&A day, huh?
Yep.
Yeah.
You fools have been at this for a while, man. We got to give it up.
Old school episode today, man. Remember when we used to do those 3-hour shows?
Oh, man. That was good times, dude. Good times.
Where we would start at 8 and we wouldn't finish till 11:30. Like close to 11:30. Sometimes we would go to midnight.
My voice would be destroyed by the end of those episodes.
Man, those were old school.
Hanky Pym, I really want that game to come out. I have it pre-ordered. I really want that. It's my most anticipated game, Cyberpunk 2077. It's coming out near my birthday, our birthday, Lou. So I really want that to come out. Pretty please.
I got Final Fantasy VII Remake on pre-order for like the last 15 years, and it's coming in like delayed. I got I ordered the collector's edition. I'll probably never be able to open it and play it.
Matt Miranda's getting his the 15th. The game comes out the 10th.
No biggie. I mean,
yeah.
Most, I know Matt's working, I'm working, but most people got, unfortunately, a lot of time to play it. So
yeah. I picked up the digital copy. I pre-ordered it today. I was like, yeah, I'll put the money down for the digital copy, because I've been looking at streams, because people have been posting like videos and stuff, because Europe already has it. So I'm like, oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, I think it's absolutely gorgeous.
No, don't say that, Hanky Pym. Don't put that curse on me, son.
Yeah. Don't put that out there in the world.
I think delayed, Gio.
I do like that Xbox, they were smart and they said, you know what, we got the Series X coming out, so if you buy Cyberpunk now, you'll get a voucher thing so you can download it for free on Series X. I'm like, thank you.
That's what most of their games. I'm of the mindset that I'm still surprised we're getting new consoles this year, especially with everything going on. I think they're going to get pushed to 2021.
I'm sure, dude. I mean, even if this quarantine ended like tomorrow, there's going to be a lot of people still
Catching
trying
up.
to put things back to order and get things together. And
Yeah.
there's gonna be a lot of restructuring and rebuilding after this, no matter when it happens. But outlook looks good though. We'll see what happens.
Well, one other thing is the new estimated where we'll get to semi back to normal. It's like June. So let's say it's June. The rumor for new consoles is usually always around November.
Holidays. Yeah,
it's usually around November. So that gives them 6 months. I honestly would push them back to like March tax season.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens. We'll have to see what everything is. You guys are talking about how this is the perfect time, and Animal Crossing kind of lucked out.
Yeah,
releasing this time, but who really lucked out is that goddamn Tiger King Netflix docu-series.
Did you finish?
Yeah, I finished it. The thing is taking over the world. That's like the biggest meme craze you've seen in a while. And that guy, in spoilers, but he is wherever he's at now. I don't want to give anything away if anybody hasn't seen it yet, but he is getting all kinds of publicity.
Yep.
It is this time frame's what was it called? How to Catch a Killer? What was that one Netflix series that was crazy popular?
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
With,
How to Catch a Murderer or something?
Kingpin was on it, right?
No. This is another docu-series.
This is a true doc. Yeah.
I'm confused.
Where somebody burnt the body and they blamed it on this one guy.
There it is.
Making a Murderer. There you go. Yeah. Did you see that, Gio?
Nope. No, I don't have Netflix, so I don't watch a lot of stuff.
Justin Page with the $1.99 super chat. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Marathon in it, son. Yeah, I just got here, but I'm gonna take full credit for the 2 hours and 11 minutes. I know you guys are still going on. I was like, all right, it's 5 o'clock. I'm just leaving work, but I had to go get something to eat and come back and take a shower. And I'm looking at my phone. I'm like, oh, you guys are still on? Oh, let's see. I'll get on.
This doesn't happen anymore. So
yeah.
Bavarian. I just actually finished an Omni by 5, read 1, repeat.
Congratulations on finishing Omni. That is crazy.
That is an achievement, man.
That is. That's a good feeling. That's a good feeling.
Yes, that is an achievement.
I want to know which one she read. What was it? I wonder. Was it Fantastic Four? Yeah. Hickman Fantastic Four?
It was the New 52 Omnibus.
5, read 1, repeat. Yeah, that's a fact.
Where's that question about? Because now that Gabe's here, he can answer this about the. Somebody asked us something about Diamond, and I couldn't answer. It was about the what was the reprint again? Uncanny X-Force.
While he looked for that, did you see that they opened up the case against her now? The Tiger Lady?
Oh, Carol Baskin?
Yeah, they opened up the cold case again. Somebody's investigating the murder.
Oh, for her husband thing?
Yeah.
Wow. You know what? I don't know. This isn't much of a spoiler, but the one person who I think really got screwed out of that entire relationship situation is the guy that was making the reality show.
Yeah.
And the things that happened with the footage and whatnot, and that strange turn of events, that guy really he probably got messed up the most out of it. I mean, besides that one guy's mom, you know who we're talking about. That one guy's mom, her husband, his husband's mom.
Here's a question: Uncanny X-Force by Remender will be available from Diamond since it's out of stock, but being reprinted.
Is that a question or is that a comment?
He's got a question mark on it.
Question, yeah.
Will it be available for? I mean, nothing's available from Diamond right now. Nothing. I'm not even sure if they're doing reorders or not, to be honest. I could look to see what's in their stock.
How weird is that, not having new comics come in on Wednesday, man?
It's different. I think the only real weird, crazy thing about it, honestly, is I don't know what day of the week it is.
Oh, it throws you off.
Because it's all right, well, new books coming on Tuesday. Tuesdays suck, and you got to go through the motions of making it through Tuesday to get ready for Wednesday. And when when you work in a comic book store, every day you kind of have like certain tasks getting ready to build up for Wednesday, and we're not doing any of that right now. So it really kind of throws off the routine. I'm like, what is it today? I was like, is it Friday? Is it Thursday? Is it Monday again? I have no idea what day it is.
Bavarian read Amazing Spider-Man by JMS, Volume 1.
Oh, nice.
Yes. Good
Last
choice.
arc made me uncomfortable. Otherwise, it was okay. Yeah, that last arc.
Looking slim, man. How much you lost so far, Gabe?
I think I'm still at the normal, the 40, 45 pounds or whatever it was. I've been eating like a friggin' like the worst. Like I haven't gone to the gym since the quarantine happened. None of that stuff has been going on. None of it, dude. I had like 15 things at Taco Bell today. I hate myself.
This is my favorite comment. Just got back on and thought it was a different episode.
I mean, right now through Diamond, the Uncanny X-Force is still just out of stock. They're not accepting any more product. So nothing that's not already in Diamond's like warehouse for sale is going to happen. They're not bringing anything in. They're not putting anything out, including money. They're not paying publishers right now. And that was I got some inside information. That was dirty what they did. That was unexpected and out of nowhere, from my understanding.
Messed up. Yeah, it's messed up.
They were just like, nope, sorry, like no warning, no discussion, no meeting, no, anything like that you would expect to happen. From my understanding, it was just like, hey guys, by the way, you're not getting paid.
They just pull the plug like that.
Pretty much, from my understanding, yeah.
It's fucked up, man.
Lou, you got a question here. When things get back to normal, will comic shops get prints of comics for this time missed?
Oh, yeah. Okay, so this is more of your speed, Gabe. So we briefly discussed earlier the whole situation involving DC Comics, how 4 weeks from now, DC Comics is going to be digitally releasing the issues that were supposed to come out this week, and then they're going to go forward, and each subsequent week, they're going to do that, basically. What do you think? There has to be a way for them to catch up. Do you think it's going to be a thing where they're just going to shoot all the missing issues over to you guys, to retailers, and the physical guys will be able to buy them? How do you think that's going to work? I know it's going to be...
Yeah, that's going to be an odd situation because none of the printers are printing comics right now. So all the stuff that's supposed that we're missing, that's going to be missed next week and the week after next and the week after that, is not being printed. So I'm presuming we will get things back. I'm hoping, God, I hope it's not all at once. I hope it just isn't like this big explosion of comics that come our way all over our face, neck, and chest. I would presume, and I think every other comic book store out there would like if we just went back to normal, like weekly shipments of it, if there's really comic book stores left after this.
Yeah.
Because here in Nevada, we are now under a stay-at-home decree from the governor. So
yeah. And how is that over there? Is it like, because I've heard Florida's Florida. We don't give a fuck. Like,
yeah, no, you guys are just go to the fucking beach and shit.
We're at the fucking beaches and they issued a stay-at-home order. We don't give a fuck. I've heard some states going as far as like their Walmarts, you can't even go to the electronics section. Like they've got it completely blocked off. Like you can't.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you can't buy anything from there. Like you have to, it's food, medicine, but whatever you need, but like electronics and like all that shit.
Yeah,
they closed that all off. So I don't know how it is with you guys over there.
I haven't seen anything like that. Yesterday was the first of the month, and everywhere was packed. Everywhere was packed yesterday. Like Torpedo's in a shopping center with a Walmart, and it was packed. I went to Sam's Club because I had to just get. I didn't realize it was the first of the month. I went to Sam's Club because it was just that day of the week for me to get groceries for everybody, and it was packed. So I don't know. It's going to be weird if they're going to start blocking off and deciding what inside Walmart or other grocery stores is considered essential. Yep. Apparently, we're supposed to be getting the National Guard, and there's talk that the National Guards are going to be like having checkpoints and being like, "Where are you going? Nope, can't go there unless you're going to the store to buy food. You got to take your stupid ass back home."
Yep.
But we'll see. No more One Piece. No, I got too much going on right now, man. I would love to get back into One Piece and back into Berserk. You would think, somebody who works in a comic book store would have a lot of free time this time of the, during this. No way, dude. No way. We have got to be the hardest working comic book store out there right now. It is non-stop. Our business has changed overnight, basically. Torpedo Comics, the local comic book store, the brick and mortar store, basically doesn't exist anymore, and has now turned into Torpedo Comics, the Instagram live sell business. And it has been successful. We are staying afloat. We are keeping the business moving. I got paid. So, but it is. I don't even have time to just jump into the Omnibros chat, like our group chat, and even check in with you guys. It is nonstop. Making invoices for the online sale, packing, shipping, making labels, doing the show. I do 2.5 hours every day of live sales on Instagram. So check us out, Torpedo Comics on Instagram. Every day we do live sales. So it's I just haven't had the time to do much. And then when I do come home, I got family life. My wife is here all day. She's working from home, but she's got the kids. I come home and I'm here with the kids too. I'm trying to squeak in reading Fantastic Four Epic Collection Volume 1. I'm lucky to get through 1 to 2 issues a day. Not that I'm complaining, but my kids like to come in and they want to pull me away and go play with them, and that's my life, and I couldn't ask for more. So One Piece, reading in general, not just One Piece, not just Berserk, but even the stuff I've been trying to read, like Fantastic Four Volume 1, is I get it in where I can. That sounds a whole lot like my teenage years.
I saw a picture of the Diamond CEO the other day, and I would not want to cross him.
Hey, I'll break your fucking legs.
Yeah, he looks like a mobster dude. I've hung out with him at Diamond meetings when they had the Diamond Summit here in Vegas. I hung out with him because I was there trying to sell him big books. Like I was trying to sell him our AF-15 that we had at the time, and I had a video of, you guys seen the vault at Torpedo. Yeah. So I had a video of the vault, and I gave him my phone. He was going through my phone, looking at pictures and looking at videos and stuff like that. Like him and Torpedo, we don't have like a we have a business relationship where we were Torpedo and Steve Jeffy, because we were trying to sell him books and make him a customer. We were hustling. But yeah, I mean, he's a cool guy, but he is business. He is 100% business. And I'm pretty sure that dude's broken a couple ankles and gave people cement shoes a few times.
Yeah. I mean, Bavarian Ray, that's the hope, man, is that with all this stuff that's going on with the loans and stuff, a lot of shops will stay open. So
we'll see. I mean, a loan isn't the answer to anything.
The idea is that small business owners can apply for this loan, and as long as they keep their staff, they keep paying their employees, and they keep the amount of employees, and they increase their. I'm super shortening basically all this crap. As long as they do that, I think it's for months or 4 or 5 months. They get the loan forgiven.
Okay. You'll see. I mean, it's
a crap. You never know.
It's a crapshoot because you still have to realize that maybe your customer base disappears. Because who knows? Every town is different. Every town has their own economy. Vegas, we have our own economy based around essentially the casinos.
I heard you guys are hurting because the casinos are shut down.
Dude, our unemployment, I think they said our unemployment rate is the highest in the country. Again, it happens anytime there's a big business or economic shutdown or economic grief. Vegas gets hit the hardest. Our unemployment rate went up 1,300%.
Wow.
1,300%. I mean, that's just the unemployment. There's other things going on. We're considered a small state comparatively to our neighbors like California or even like New York or anything like that. So our governor trying to get aid, he said it's a lot harder because we're smaller, so we can't. Everybody's focus is on New York and California and stuff like that. So there's a lot going on, and like I said, our economy is based on the casinos. So and travel. So if that doesn't immediately turn back right up right after all this is over, it's still going to have to be a slow process for small businesses. And the last thing that's on probably most people's list of priorities is going to be their, comic books.
Yeah.
So we'll see. We'll see what happens. I have high hopes. I'm not here just to make doubts and stuff like that, but I'm not here to be paranoid. But I always think precautionally and prepared.
Keeping it real.
Keeping it real. It'll work out. We'll be all right.
I like this comment. Gabe, are the hookers down at Fremont Street doing home delivery? Are the rubber gloves extra or included now?
Oh, man. So there's this strip club I drive by on the freeway every day from home called Little Darling. It's like my favorite strip club because it's nude. It's like one of the only all nude strip clubs because here in Vegas, this is really going into a weird situation. In Vegas, if you serve alcohol, you can't be an all nude strip club. But if you don't serve alcohol, it's all nude. You see everything. You see, everything.
We have to be careful. Hold on, we have to be careful with this because the last time all three of us got together, we did.
We did. We could have published that episode.
We did a late night show, and I had to delete it the minute after we finished it because I could never release the show with how vulgar and how graphic it got.
Yeah. So this place, Little Darlings, it's they don't serve alcohol, but they kind of turn a blind eye if you walk in with a 12-pack. So, and I drive by and they got this huge like billboard sign that you can see from the freeway. And for a while it was saying Corona-free lap dances. And then they changed it to and then they changed it to hand sanitizer wrestling. And now it's closed. They have it closed down. Now it says sorry, we're closed. So it closed as we're clothed, and it shows the stripper with all their clothes on.
They really need whoever's doing the signs. That guy needs to be full time because that guy is awesome.
Yeah, dude. They have the best signs. It's the best sign. They change it up like it flickers around, and it's. I almost crashed because I laugh at it so much. They put up there. It's great. It says like hundreds of beautiful strippers and 3 ugly ones. Like it's just weird stuff like that. That's great.
That's not the one with the milk crates, is it? Where you sat down and milk crates?
No. That's I don't even know if that's still around or not. But that was great. That's the one that had the midget wrestling in between the strippers.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, that was great.
Getting back into comics, Jim Lee is auctioning off art every day for the next 60 days to benefit comic shops.
Awesome.
Nice.
A lot of people are doing what they can.
Yep.
Some comic shops, TKO is doing that thing where they donate half of their digital or whatever to comic book stores. A lot of comic book stores are out there getting creative with what they're doing. Like I said, with Torpedo and our Instagram live sales, that's our bread and butter right now. That's going to be a forever thing. After it has to be. The money we're making doing this is more than what we made when the store was open. It's awesome. Yeah. So I think one store started like a GoFundMe for themselves, and I got my own opinions on that kind of stuff. But there's a lot going on. A lot of stores, a lot of companies, people, a lot of creators are doing what they can to try and help out where they can. So
I missed 2 questions from earlier, and I want to get to them because we've been on for so long. I'll feel bad if I don't answer them. This was from Ryan. Any opinions on DC Rebirth Deluxes? I have Detective Comics and Superman, and considering the next series to get into, Tom King Bats, Action Comics Suits, Wonder Woman, Flash, or Nightwing. I would go with Wonder Woman out of everything mentioned there.
I like Batman. Yeah,
And
Tom King's Batman, I think, is great. The thing with Wonder Woman, you gotta correct me if I'm wrong, guys. You have to watch out which versions you get because it's chopped up really weird, right? Like one of the deluxes that come out, it's in reading order, and by reading order I mean because the singles was. Issue 1 was one storyline. Issue 2 was the other storyline. Like issue 1 was A story. Issue 2 was B story. Yeah. Issue 3 was A story. Issue 4 was A story. And I think the deluxes, there's 2 different versions out there where they printed it one through, one numerically. And I think there's another version where they break it up, where it's, one book is the A story, one book is the B story. So just keep an eye on the contents on the back of it.
Yeah.
I like Tom King's run a lot on Batman. A lot of the complaints that I've come across and that I've heard is really people who are just upset about the whole wedding situation. And honestly, if you weren't reading it issue by issue, it probably didn't affect you, or if you didn't really buy into like the crazy hype that was going on, because that hype for that wedding issue burnt a lot of customers, burnt a lot of fans, burnt a lot of stores. So there is a lot of hate for that. But if you can get past that, it's a really good storyline. Like Bane is the main villain for that entire run, and God, it really makes you like that character Bane a lot, or hate him. But it really makes him a really good, interesting character for sure.
And this was from way earlier. Chess Rockwell, I missed this question. Make a TKO purchase to help out my LCS. Can't.
Uh-oh.
Did we just lose Geo?
Oh man, maybe there's a curfew on his internet.
Oh,
sorry.
Geo, you're good.
Yeah, I'm back. I'm good.
Okay.
Yeah, not normally a single guy. Which do you guys like better for the TKO stuff?
Trades.
I would go with the trade paperbacks.
Trades. Yeah, the trades are oversized and they're beautiful.
Yeah. If you're a trade guy, go for the trades. Just stick with what you know. And it's good stuff. Sentient was really good. The first run of stuff. The second run was a little bit of hit and miss for a lot of people. The first run of stuff was all bangers. So yeah, go for it. You'll be glad you came back too, Dick.
Sentient was really good. I really liked Sentient.
Yeah. It's a quick read too.
Moon Eternal just read the OG Crisis. Tips on best post-crisis runs to start with.
Man.
Post-crisis runs. Get Peter David's Aquaman.
George
Perez Wonder Woman.
Is John Byrne Superman right after that?
Not right after, but a little bit. Yeah, it's after.
A little bit. Yep. Yeah, get Byrne Superman, Peter David Aquaman, George Perez's Wonder Woman. Was Suicide? Yeah, Suicide Squad from way back.
The Batman stuff after that too is really good, because that's when one of the bigger changes is how they started portraying Jason Todd, because right after Crisis is when they made Jason Todd like a piece of shit, and he was stealing the hubcaps off of the Batmobile. Before that, he was kind of just regular happy-go-lucky kid. Yeah. And then they turned him into a piece of shit, and then they killed him.
It's funny that you asked that. Somebody asked us what our favorite Robin was earlier today.
Tim was my Robin. I started really getting into Batman comics.
That's
it was Tim.
Yep, that's what we said.
Yeah.
Gabe should open a strip club that has a comic book theme.
I don't want to get into details of how I would do a strip club comic book theme. Man,
we can't pull this episode, man.
Male and female. Omnibros After Dark seem to be deleted. Yeah, you got to catch it live, because you never know what's going to happen if we're going to keep a show or not.
Just got in my Black Science hardcovers. Black Science is great. I'm waiting for that third one. It's supposed to come out this year.
I'm guessing Eli's a Vegas local. He says it's the unemployment rate is 66%.
Is it that bad?
Ugh. That's what he said. I mean, I'm gonna double check it for my own, but yeah.
Jesus. Yeah, I think we're all of us here are kind of blessed in one way, shape, or form. We've all got employment right now, so fortunately.
If there were only a Man of Steel omnibus. Yep.
We'll see what happens.
If you thought that book wasn't coming out, boy, 2020 just got real. That ain't never coming out.
I told you it wasn't coming out.
Yep.
I said it.
Okay, if I do a quick Google search, this is 7%. So that must be before the lockdown happened. So we went from 7 to 66. Ugh, yeah, that's rough.
Wow.
Damn.
Is Tokyo Ghost good? I really enjoyed Strange Girl. Tokyo Ghost is good. The first half is really fun. I didn't like the second half as much as the first, but it was fun with great artwork.
I agree with that.
And if you want to get it, if you can find the oversized library edition, whatever they call it. That artwork is just fabulous on that format.
It's Sean Murphy.
Mm-hmm. It's like if a Western comic had, it has Akira influences all over, especially in the scenes in Japan and the motor racing and all that stuff. It's very kinetic, that comic, and has a lot of dongs. So watch out.
A lot of people out of nowhere.
Yep.
You just sold an extra copy.
There you go.
Place order. Oh, this is fun. Lots of boob windows.
Yeah, that'd be my extra. A lot of boob windows and a lot of dong hammocks, dong sling, dong.
Yeah. Hey, everything's equal.
Yeah.
Stage the Green Lantern Corps, and you just have like green strobe lights all over the place and everything. Like
Green Lantern whores.
They're perfect. Perfect. $1 million idea. There you go.
What's the population in Vegas without all the convention business? Got to be rough.
Yeah. Now you ask me questions I got to look up. I don't usually care how many people are here.
I'm waiting for that Aquaman Omni. You completely sold me on it. We need more Aquaman Omnibus. It's a damn shame. You know.
He's more popular than ever now, Gio.
According to Census Bureau, Vegas is 641,000.
Gabe, do you have control of the stream with me right now?
Yeah. Are we crossing streams?
Because I got to run because it's been too long and I got to do something. But if you guys want to continue for a couple more minutes, that'd be great.
Yeah, I got control over it, bro.
All right.
Let's do like another 5 minutes, Gabe, because I gotta
go. You can find me, everybody. I'm logging out now. Bye. You can find me at We Can Geek Them talking about anime, comics, manga. Supposedly, there's a new video coming out tomorrow on my channel, so look out for that. I still haven't recorded it. Gonna probably do that in a couple minutes.
Thank you.
Bye, everybody. Take care.
Later, bud.
Stay safe.
Bye, man.
Stay clean.
Oh man, Declan Steiger. While you look that up, Lou, you're the movie guy. What's the summer movie season gonna look like? I don't think there's gonna be much of one, man.
It's gonna be straight to home video or like video on demand.
I don't even think it's gonna be that. There's no way Wonder Woman, all that stuff is gonna go straight. They're a lot of them are hell bent on the theater business. So, the producer for Wonder Woman said, "Fuck no, that's a theater. They're sticking that in theaters." There's going to be much of a summer movie season. All right, let's say best case scenario, we're in April. This best case scenario, this whole thing blows by the next few months, and we get back to somewhat normalcy in June, late June. That's already half the summer gone right there, dude. July, people aren't going to be rushing out right off the bat to go in a crowded movie theater.
No way, dude. People. I don't care what they say. They say everything's free and clear. I'm like, no way, man. I'm still wearing a mask and gloves and hand sanitizing and everything.
Yeah. No, I'm not going to do that. And I think most people are going to be a little bit cautious as well. You know, this changed everything.
And you have to worry about the scheduling of it, too, if you think about it. You can't just, let's say, July 4th. July 4th is always a big weekend for movies. what are you going to do? Shotgun 30 films to come out at once? You have to space that stuff out and, you know, and figure out the schedule. Like, all right, there's a Marvel movie coming out. Well, then we can't put our biggest movie up against a Marvel movie because it's going to die. You know, stuff like that. There's a lot of business behind it.
I'm sorry.
That's why I still think it's going to be a video on demand situation.
I do not envy anyone that works in a studio that is in charge and their team of promotional material and having to decide a date for when these movies come out. Because what's going to end up, best case scenario, what's going to end up happening is, let's say a lot of these bigger movies like Wonder Woman, Black Widow, they don't decide, we're not doing VOD, we're committed to the theater release. You're then stuck with 4 months where these films are probably going to end up cannibalizing themselves. And regardless, I'm willing to bet we are still a year solid away after this before people are really going to start rushing out to the movie theaters in droves.
Yeah.
You know? I implore you guys, there was an article that was put out where China is finally starting to get back on their feet. Go read that article. I wish I had the link to it. But the reporter is explaining what it's like living in China right now, where it's not everybody's rushing out to restaurants and stuff like that. No, it's still very much like people are very gun shy. They're very cautious about going out to places and things like that. So this thing, it's here with us for a while, man. You know, don't believe the orange clown when he says, "Oh, it's going to be Easter." No, don't believe that. Okay,
people are going to do it too. That's going to be a bad idea.
That's a terrible idea. There are churches and there are Christian colleges over. There was a Christian college in Virginia that already opened up. They're open.
Yeah,
and it's just horrible decisions. Take the religious aspect away from it. It's just a terrible decision altogether right now.
It's strange because I again, like when I said the whole thing about how I think comic book shops are probably going to go bye-bye after this, and that's because I think we are training ourselves and we are starting new routines in our life where we don't need to go outside that much anymore. You know, a lot of people are working from home. A lot of people are homeschooling their kids at home, or not even homeschooling. I know you're doing teaching from home.
Yeah.
Nobody's really going to restaurants because you can't. So everything is takeout or delivery. And I think we're just going to get used to that aspect of society where we're just going to go like, I don't need to go out. I can just get everything here. I'm just going to mail order everything. I'm going to order everything off of websites. And thinking outside of the box a little bit, or putting myself in the shoes of a movie producer or a studio. I know nothing about it, but if I was in charge, I would 1,000,000% just do video on demand for these big movies. You spent $500 million on a movie, and now you're just sitting on it on a shelf. Yeah. That's hard to do because you still have to show your stockholders and I said it before, stockholders, competition, and everybody else that you're still solvent and you can still make money. I could see this stuff going straight video on demand for $20 or something like that, just because they need to get this money. Same with comic book stores, same with publishers. I could see them going the digital route because we still need to get some kind of money in and make money that we already spent, make that money back and try to make some kind of profit off of it. So I can see it being just a video on demand situation. And yeah, again, after this is over, I am not going to crowd myself into a movie theater anytime soon. We don't know we still don't know anything that's going on with this virus. How long is it going to last after it's gone? You know, what are our chances of still getting it? You know, if you had it once, can you get it again? You know, who knows? Is it going to mutate and grow stronger? And that's just me being a strange germaphobe, but that's reality. You know, I'm not going to go to a movie theater anytime soon. Yeah. I'm not going anywhere anytime soon after this.
Yeah, it's weird times, man. It's weird. Regardless, we are this world we live in now. It's never going to be the same as pre this virus in one way, shape, or form. And silver lining, because I'm trying to look at all the positive stuff on this, is that it's going to make a lot of companies, a lot of corporations, and a lot of industries re-examine their work from home positions, where they're like, no, we're not letting you work from home. Mm-hmm. Now, this is working for a lot of companies. They might start re-examining this and going, why aren't we just letting our employees just work from home? Why aren't we just cutting back on emissions, cutting back on all these different costs and stuff like that. And yeah, let them work from home.
Hey, why are we paying for a building with lights and water and insurance and everything like that? But they can just work from home. That's great. It's going to be a dynamic. And I'm not saying this to be doom and gloom. Yeah, this is coming. Honestly, my opinions on these things are coming from an idea of this being exciting. I want to see what happens. I like the idea of change, and I want to see where that is coming from and how we're going to come out of this. If anything, as long as you come out of this, enjoying life, appreciating our loved ones, appreciating love. I found, I'll tell you this, not to get a little personal and weird, but I found a new level of love for my wife and my kids because I was really worried for a little bit. I mean, I still kind of am, but there was a moment where I just kind of accepted this could be the end. This could be, could be over. And I just found a new appreciation and love for my wife and my kids. And I would like to think more people would walk out of this with that. And if we do, then who cares what happens to anything else? We will survive and we will thrive and we will learn to love and appreciate each other again.
Yeah. And look, there is a silver lining to this. This will pass. It's going to be tough. I don't want to sugarcoat things and kind of getting into just kind of a motivational mode a little bit right now, but it's going to be tough. No bullshit. The next few weeks are going to be tough for us, but there is an end to it. And you'll get through it. And I honestly, I'm hoping the best for everybody out there. Everyone here on this show loves you guys. This show really isn't what it is without you guys as fans. And we are honestly wishing the best for everybody out there. And we're going to get through it. Bottom line is it's just a matter of just kind of hunkering down and battling through it. So, and I firmly believe on the other side of this, there's going to be a lot of positive growth and a lot of positive change for a lot of people.
Oh yeah, 100%. And shout out to Eli. He works in the casino industry. My love out to you, bro. There isn't a single person in Las Vegas who's not affected by the casino industry or knows somebody who's affected by it. So I hope you're doing good. I don't know if you're furloughed or what your situation is, but I do hope for the best for you, man. And if you ever need anybody to talk to, you can always hit me up. It's all good. But yeah, I want to see. Comic book stores are going to be the blockbuster, bro. There's not going to be that many of them out there, I think, after this. It's going to be the form of the blockbuster. And people don't like to hear that. And that's just my opinion. And I'm looking at it from that perspective to kind of see what happens. Like I said, there is going to be change. And this is coming from a place of positivity and acceptance of change. Mm-hmm. But you have to just break the idea of traditionalism and being like, oh, print, it's print or nothing. And it's not going to be that way. These companies, like we were saying about how these companies are going to save so much money by having people work at home. Same with the comic book publishers. We don't have to print comics for a month or two. We just saved millions of dollars. It's going to be something like that too, man. So
yeah,
let's see what happens. But I do think it's going to be comic book stores are blockbuster. It's blockbuster status.
And Michael Lombardo, you make a great point. Stop listening to by all means, stop being obsessed with the news. Because that stuff will just drain you. Honestly, listen to what you need to listen. Obviously, pay attention. Keep your ear to the ground. But this whole, it'll drain you, man. It'll honestly drain you if you just stick and listen to the news and hear about everything that's going on. Just But my best advice is, by all means, if you're allowed to go out every day, get some fresh air in some way, shape, or form. If it's just walking around the neighborhood, obviously be safe, keep your distance and stuff like that. But just try and take your mind off of it as best as you can.
The most important thing really for me is stay healthy. Stay healthy. One way or the other, the way you eat, the way you treat yourself. But more importantly, that people don't really talk about is mentally.
Yeah, 100%.
And I'm not saying don't ever, listen to the news and don't try to keep updated with world events, but just do your mental best to not dwell on it, because that does physically affect you. You can get sick by just stressing yourself out, and you don't want to put your body in any kind of compromise with the immune systems or open yourself up to any kind of other germs and bacteria and viruses that are also going on out there, or mental stress or anything like that. So, like I said, I'm not paranoid, but I am precautious and prepared, and that's the best way to really be about it. Don't go out there and be like, oh, I don't care. I'm all hoity-toity and lovey-dovey and fun, and don't be on the other end of the spectrum where you feel you need to wrap yourself in a garbage bag to go outside and check your mail. Find yourself a nice happy medium, but just keep yourself healthy, mentally, physically, all that kind of stuff. That's very, very important.
N-Man40, I like this question. Do you guys think sports could be in trouble? I know sports nuts that have discovered other hobbies they've been missing out. Having no sports is almost a relief for them. And sports will come back. The NFL is huge. The NFL ain't going nowhere. Okay, the NFL will be back. The NBA will be back. All that stuff will be back eventually. It's just gonna take.
It'll be weird. It might be a time where, like with the wrestling is right now. I don't watch wrestling, but I catch it every so often these days. And there's nobody in the stadiums and there's nobody in the seats, but there's still wrestling. I can see that happening with other sporting events for a while, but that'll go back to normal eventually. It's sports. It's people have way crazier passion for that than they do like we do with comics. So,
dude, have you seen like the environment? What's been going on with the environment since this whole thing started? Like the canals in Spain or whatever have been cleaned up a lot. Like animals are moving back into them and stuff like that.
I heard that just the pollution in general has gone down because nobody's driving around anymore.
Yeah, emissions in general have gone down and stuff. It's pretty crazy.
It's fun. It's interesting. Like I said, there's going to be some changes and some positivity, and there's going to be some reflection. We're all going to get a chance to reflect on this.
100%.
I think Halloween might be canceled. Who knows how long this is going to last?
I mean, the last thing that I saw, because Dr. Fauci, whatever that dude is working on like the task force or whatever it is. Mm-hmm. They're saying if everything goes well and it's like a perfect scenario, they're saying June. They're saying in the next 2 to 3 weeks is when this thing will peak. That's their estimation. So they're shooting for about June, July when this thing starts topping off a little bit.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. They say maybe the summer heat will help. Burn this out. Who knows? But
yeah,
there's no way through. There's no way to the other side of this other than going through it. And we have to just. It's like bad weather. You have to just kind of go through it.
Yep.
Just everybody we got to do our part. Just stay home if you can. Keep your distance if you're out and about. Mm-hmm. Stuff like that. Hell, I went to Sam's Club and I ran into Flavor Flav. That was awesome.
Joe Guz asked, what do you think is going to happen to conventions? MegaCon is still, they shifted their date to the end of July, and I'm even thinking, like, I'm probably not even going to that.
It depends, dude. I mean,
man, you were supposed to come down. We were supposed to have a meetup.
Yeah, we were going to do a big old Omnibros meetup. Like, I was going to be there. You were going to be there. We were trying to get Gio to come. Like, just seemed like he was on board to do it. We'll see what happens. Yeah,
it would be the most of us in the same spot at once, and I don't know. I don't even know if I would go. It seems like it's going to be too soon.
Again, it's going to have to be how long after this is over, because it's like 2 weeks, and it's like, oh, here's WonderCon or here's San Diego. No way, bro. I'm not going anywhere. And who knows how many people feel that way? Who knows how many people are going to still go out and do it? But there's going to be a change. And then again, who knows? Because how many dealers are going to be there? How many fans are going to be there? How many, like the movie companies and the TV companies and like those other, how many vendors are going to still do this, afterwards? So we'll see what happens.
Yes, sir. Any last minute questions before we get out of here?
Even Mike Havoc's like, I don't know if San Diego's going to happen. Yeah, who knows?
I doubt it.
It's a lot of planning to do those conventions. It's a lot of planning.
And that many people in one spot, I doubt the city of San Diego would even allow it. I doubt it, man.
Especially as bad as California has it. Like they're one of the biggest hot zones right now, I think.
I think SDCC is not happening this year, buddy. Or they're going to push it back to like October, November.
We'll see what happens. And again, I'm excited to see how this is going to change things. What's going to happen afterwards? It's going to be fun. It's going to be interesting. And I appreciate everybody here watching this. We have over 50 people who are still in on this after almost 3 hours. Jesus Christ. And I'm glad you guys are taking your time away from your quarantine to enjoy us and to stick around and just do us a favor to give us a thumbs up. And if your first time here, give us a sub.
When was the last time we did 3 hours? It's been years, hasn't it?
Dude, that's never happened.
No.
It happened before, but it's been forever because we've all been just like, all right, well, here's an hour and a half, 2 hours, just get out of here.
Yeah, we're usually keep it pretty tight. This is like, remember the OG episodes, it wouldn't be rare for us to go 2 hours and a half on a normal year.
Especially the Q&As. We always just kept going with Q&As.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, good times.
Kristan in chat. So I've been reading X-Force by Remender. Bit lost with the cyborg superheroes. Did I miss something somewhere else?
Oh, he's talking about what's his face? Oh my god, I'm blanking. From X, he's a mutant and he's like from the future and he's half robot.
Cable?
No. The other one. He's like, his face is like all messed up.
Cable?
God damn it! It's not Cable. What's his fucking Deathlock? Deathlock.
Oh, that part. Okay, so he's later in the omnibus, and he's towards the end of that. All right. That's when the art got really funky for me. And I was kind of just not into it after a while.
That's the second arc. That's like that's the second arc. That happens pretty early on, I think.
Is it? I thought it was after the angel stuff.
It is, but the angel stuff is split into two parts. Like the angel stuff, he does his first initial few issues with the angel stuff. Then Deathlock shows up. They do a few arcs, and then they come back.
Okay.
My haircut matches this lineup.
Well, me and Lou got the same haircut.
Hell yeah, man! I've had. How long have you been shaving?
God.
Like, when did you start losing it?
Early 20s is when I started losing it. 25, 26. When I was 25, 26 is when I accidentally shaved my head.
No.
I didn't have any money, and I couldn't afford a fucking haircut at the time. And I just got my clippers I usually use to shave my balls. And I wanted to just kind of just like, I put like a guard on, like a 3 or a 4, and I was just like, and I did it. I was like, all right, sweet, good. I don't need to get a haircut. I could just rock with this for a while to the next paycheck. And I go, I missed a couple spots. And we kind of even it out. And I went, and the guard wasn't on, so I just fuck. So I just buzzed it all. And then when it grew back, it didn't all grow back. And I was like, oh fuck, well there it is. So I just was just buzzing it ever since. And eventually I just started shaving it. So God, 25. Was that really 15 years ago? No, God, yeah. So I've been shaving my head for about 15 years.
Damn, dude. No, senior year is when it started thinning out for me. So I lost it pretty young. It didn't fully go until like college. After college, because I still have like, the thing is that I still have on the side, it's the top.
Yeah.
That is pretty bad. So I'm just like, fuck it. So I keep it shaved. I usually just use the machine to kind of buzz it down, and then I take a razor to it.
Yeah, and I just shave it in the shower every couple of days.
Do you?
Yeah. Do you do it in the mirror still, or are you freestyle now?
Oh, I do it in the mirror, man. I don't trust myself because yeah, I do it in the mirror, dude. I take the razor to it and just do it in the mirror with that. Because I have to shave it about every 3 or 4 days, and then before that, it starts looking bad after that.
I shave on Tuesdays and Saturdays is my schedule.
Yeah. I save a shit.
Oh, he froze. I think he's saying he saves a lot of money on haircuts. Yeah, fuck haircuts. $25 plus a tip? Yeah, stop that. All right, I think this is gonna be it, guys. Lou has crashed the internet. We are at the 3-hour mark. Everybody, yeah, I still shave my balls. I got a wife. She needs to make sure. I need to make sure that still some action going on around there. So anyways, enough about my balls. So Omnibroslive, we're hitting the 3-hour mark on this Q&A special, guys. Appreciate it so much. Glad you guys stopped in, learned a lot about personal manscaping one another. Please go ahead and make sure, I'm trying to find the banners on here. What do we have here for banners? Here's our excellent, wonderful, amazing sponsors that we could not appreciate more. InStockTrades.com. They've been our sponsor for, it feels like since the beginning of the show, but it's been about maybe 2 years at the most, because we've always been a part of In-Stock Trades, meaning that we've always used them as our choice. Here comes Lou. Hey, Lou.
I thought it was over.
Oh yeah, I was getting ready to end it. I was doing the spot. So In-Stock Trades, yeah. Even before we got together, we all used In-Stock Trades. We've used them before we started the show. Even when we did start the show, one of the things that we always had in common was that we knew the right place to get our collected editions up to 50% off, weekly sales, amazing customer service, free shipping in the United States on orders over $50. They also give us a $50 gift card that we give away on the show once a month, and everything else. Don't spend full cover price on your collected editions and omnibuses. Please visit InStockTrades.com. And you know what? Tell them Omnibroslive sent you. Say, what's up, guys?
Mm-hmm.
You were saying that you save a lot of money by not going to the barber anymore?
Yeah. I save a shit ton of money by just not going to the barber and just doing it at home myself. I save like $20 every time, because it used to be $20-$25 with tip just to get everything taken care of. All right, man.
Most people don't understand $25 for a haircut. That's pretty normal for a haircut.
That's normal, dude. If you're getting the beard done, if you're tipping well, if you're getting a head like shaved well and cleaned up, yeah, that's about normal, man.
Yeah.
You're easily spending $25. And I'm not talking about like a stylist. I'm talking about a barber, like the Hispanic guys. Yep. Where they can sell you a few bootleg DVDs if you know the right one to ask and stuff like that. And they've got the bootleg movie playing in the background and stuff. And they're all talking shit to each other, and they stop every 5 minutes to talk shit to each other. That's a barbershop.
Yeah. Yeah, I used to go to the Hispanic ones, or occasionally I go to the black guy barbershops, and those are just as great too, man. Those guys. But it's weird because you have to go up to them, but yo, fool, I'm next. I got next. So you had to get in their face. It was kind of weird.
It's true. Yeah. And the thing is, you have your barber. Like, you establish a relationship with a certain barber, and they will mean mug the fuck out of you if you go to another barber.
Oh, yeah. They'll fight somebody if they try to take you, too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it happens all the time.
Yeah.
All right, man, I'm ready to kind of call it.
Yeah, I'm good, too. I haven't really seen much of my family yet since I got home, but I wanted to jump in and say what up to you dudes. But again, guys, thank you all very much. Stay healthy, keep your butt clean, stay inside, and we'll see you guys. Today's Thursday, right? So we'll be back Sunday. With, I don't know, usually we do news on Sundays, but there's not much comic book news to talk about. We'll see about that. And of course, shelfies. Always doing the shelfies. So, omnibroslive@gmail.com. We're still taking selfie submissions. So be part of the community. Send us pictures of your collection. All right, dudes.
Guys.
We're out.
Yep.
Peace.
Stay safe, guys.
Out. I'm Gabe. That's Lou. We're Omnibros Live. And we are the fuck out of here.
Bye.